Zongman, Danmachi, 3 skills at the beginning. Chapter 41. On the main seat, Finn held the teacup in both hands like the old man, and carefully blew a couple of mouthfuls, and matched it with his handsome youthful appearance. Leader tilde tilde. Tion was sinking, and kept rubbing against Finn. The leader of the villain blocked the Amazon girl with one hand with a wry smile on his face, and said with a smile. If I were him, I would choose the same way. LV.1 is just a basic stage for him. The deeper the background, the better the effect after the upgrade. It seems that he has planned a long time ago. He is quite smart. Yes already, Rafia, you said that he commanded well while you were exploring. Rafia was patted on the head by Ice, her face was flushed and steaming. Yes, Captain, Flan is very powerful, and what he understands is not like a rookie adventurer at all. It's just tactics or something, it's a bit strange, it makes me feel. How to say? Everyone looked at the girl, causing her to slur her speech nervously. That's it gives me the feeling that the way he commands is not targeting monsters. That's interesting. What is it if it's not a monster? Humanity. Ace told the truth for everyone. Should it be said that he is a high-level adventurer? Let's analyze it thoroughly from the clues. Flan instinctively took human habits into account when directing. When monsters are fighting, because they are irrational, they always attack with all their strength, and rely on their instincts to go straight, and they will not go around the corner. But human beings are much more cunning, using sneak attacks, traps, inducements, and everything. On this basis, there are naturally differences in the execution of tactics. To deal with monsters, the avant-garde stands up to the battle line and uses the magician to make a decisive blow. When dealing with human beings, you must always protect the defenders, because the term, cutting the back row, is common everywhere. Loki bent his lips and opened his red eyes. If we feel right, that child, like Finn, has remembered things since birth. Varied. Finn also nodded. I feel the same way. Everyone had different expressions when they heard the words, and God's judgment is most likely not wrong. Since Loki said so, it must be true. Ace, how about you guys sparring with Flan today? Finn and others are very concerned about the growth of this future ace, but sometimes excessive expectations will bring pressure to people, so the big three are silently relying on Flan to grow alone, which is the best for him. Asking now, I just want to have a more intuitive understanding, because the growth rate of the hell, if you don't pay attention, it will exceed expectations, and it is simply difficult to control. That rascal. Tion hugged Finn's arm with a bit of unwillingness on her face. It's amazing. It's unbelievably savvy. You can understand everything, and you can even draw inferences from one instance. Tiona smiled happily. It seems that he knows certain essentials innately, but his body can't keep up. As long as he has a little practice, he will be proficient soon. In some places, he can even come up with unexpected ideas. Is it? The three giants looked at each other, knowing what to do. Sure enough, is that skill. Reader. Ice bit her lip, recalling the figure of practicing against herself during the day in her mind. Too fast, growing too fast. Almost in the blink of an eye, it became what it is now. Just like an empty cup, under everyone's tempering, the space in the cup is rapidly filling with water. What's even more frightening is that the cup is still big enough and hasn't stopped growing. Obviously standing in front of you, but out of reach. Doing what everyone knows, that man, Flan Algon, will catch up soon. In this way, Icy and the others were even more stimulated. Cut, boring. Hey, Bert, what are you doing at this hour? Tion and Tiona looked at each other and smiled. Let's go to the underground city. It should be an underground city. Ice tilde let's go to the dungeon tomorrow too. Okay. The girl's expression was calm, but her golden eyes were burning with fighting intent, which was the persistence of looking at someone's back. Ha, it's nice to be young. The next day, night and day alternated, and Flan was busy with his daily routine all night. When he went home to sleep with a yawn, he found a strange phenomenon from the family mansion. Hey, Raoul. Why is it so deserted so early in the morning? Raoul held the breakfast with a puzzled look on his face. Don't you know? Everyone rushed to the dungeon early, and they didn't know what happened. Even Angie, Alvi, and Leah ran away. Leave me alone to handle so much work. Raoul complained wildly, grabbed the bread viciously and stuffed it into his mouth, not afraid of choking. Sitting down across from him, Flan stared blankly. How about continuing to exercise today? Let me go. Flan, come find me in the library later. Coincidentally, the royal goblin appeared with her goblin assistant, Ms. Alicia. Huh. Riveria. Ah, today your training will be put on hold for a day, just to learn magic knowledge from me. Okay. After finishing speaking, Riveria left with a shadow behind her. I envy you, magic or something. This Raoul's title is extraordinary. The attribute values are all C, skill magic, and one has no. A real panel monster. I said Raoul, you are already LV.4, and you have saved a lot of money, right? Buying a magic book is more than enough, why? Woo 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 woo. Ha 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 ha, Flan, don't mention it. That's a sad story. When the orc Cruz heard about this, he burst out laughing. Flan blinked and moved closer to Cruz. Talk about it and make everyone happy. PFF'd. Hey, Cruz. How dare you say nonsense that I will kill you. However, Cruz did not hesitate at all, but was full of teasing. Let me tell you, this guy was obsessed with a certain whore at the Happy Festival, and even lost all the funds he earned back from the expedition. It seems that he has been paying back the money all these years. Books, one book is worth hundreds of millions, okay. Flan opened his mouth wide, stared round his eyes with an expression of disbelief. This honest-looking Raoul, who calls himself little, behind Finn every day, actually has such a bohemian side. People, you don't know what you look like, Raoul. Flan, who had come to his senses, looked heartbroken, which made everyone around him burst into laughter. Riveria and Miss Alicia, who hadn't gone far, kept shaking their fragrant shoulders, because the elf's reserve was probably too uncomfortable. Raoul blushed and stared angrily at Cruz. Careless in making friends. You fool. What are you saying to the newcomers? Oh, with your black history, who doesn't know it is, isn't it, everyone? Ha 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 ha. The whole restaurant was roaring with laughter, so lively. After happily eating breakfast, Flan packed up and went to the library. Riveria and Alicia have been waiting for a long time. From them, the unique temperament of goblins exudes, and Flan is a little lost. You're here, sit down first. Okay, Riveria. Alicia, you first teach him the basic ritual setting and simple magic. In the afternoon, I will guide you in making simple magic props. I'm sorry, Miss Alicia. No trouble, and this is Lord Riveria's order, and I am also very curious about you. As a human being, it is quite rare to have the same magical talent as fairies. Flan touched his nose and smiled mockingly. Each race has some exceptions. Ha said that I have seen mages of the little humans, and even the Amazons, but I have never seen dwarves and orc mages. Miss Alicia the fairy was sitting tight, and Flan was looking at each other across the table. It's just that there are always some magnificent buildings that attract his attention. Aware of his realization, she raised the corners of her mouth and gave him a science introduction as if nothing had happened. Orcs and dwarves are not individuals without awakening magic, such as Mr. Grace and Mr. Burt. But an individual cannot represent the average potential of a race. You can understand what this means. As she spoke, she blinked and asked Flan if he understood. I understand. Goblins are called magic races because you can generally use magic, just like orcs generally have animalization skills. That's what I mean. Of course, after God's lower realm, we have the God's grace, and use it as a medium to unearth the possibility of individuals, so the problem comes. Because of the infinite possibilities, every race has the opportunity to awaken magic. Therefore, magic is also differentiated. To sum up, modern magic can be roughly divided into two types, innate type, and nurture type. Needless to say, the innate class refers to the magic related to the aptitude of the target or the foundation of the race. Since ancient times, the magic race can actively learn magic with the potential talent plus practice and rituals. Although the attributes have fixed tendencies, but it has a large scale and powerful effect. As for the acquired class, Alicia stared at Flan's golden pupils, and said seriously. Acquired is a possibility that is excavated through the medium of God's grace. To use a more accurate term, it should be called self-realization. It's very random, not to mention as people from the lower world, even the gods can't understand it. Unknown rules, some infinite differences. Importantly, it is greatly affected by experience points. As for what magic is, you can use interest to describe it. This element is especially important for acquired magic. For example, if you are interested in something, you will have emotions such as approval, hatred, longing, lamentation, worship, swearing, longing, etc. Under the God's grace, it is obvious. Having said that, Riveria interjected. Speaking of your magic, I can't imagine what kind of interest you have in order to awaken such an excessive magical attribute. Flan looked embarrassed, sitting on a pin cushion. Destroy attributes or something, that's not what he wants. Have you learned more about your own magical attributes? Seeing the royal goblins questioning him seriously, and even Miss Alicia's eyes full of curiosity, Flan's lips moved and he lowered his head. Not yet, it's just that I use it instinctively like a sword. I only know that it is very powerful, such as the temperature is extremely high. After using magic, it can even melt the ground of the dungeon, and, how should I put it? It's not good for weapons and armor. So friendly. Riveria and Alicia looked at each other in surprise, it seemed that it was more powerful than Icy's magic. Destroy it, then the scope is too wide. Perhaps your equipment expenditure will exceed imagination. He had realized it a long time ago. He had a faint feeling in his heart that his magic could destroy weapons and equipment, and this attribute was very extreme, whether it was for the enemy or the user. From this point, it may be speculated that the core ability of your magic is capable of destroying the physical structure of an individual, or even the energy structure. It is specifically manifested in the application, which is confrontation. As expected of fairies, the explanation of magic is easy to understand, even a novice like Flan can understand it instantly. This has nothing to do with strength, it is entirely a matter of background. As for the specifics, you need to explore by yourself. Okay, let's learn some basic knowledge first, so that you can have a comprehensive understanding of the magic system. After that, Flan plunged into the library, obsessed with the world of magic. From the basic theory, to the composition of the ceremony, to the basic materials, a large stack of books made him absorb the knowledge hungrily. After Ice, Dion, Diona, Rafia and others returned from the dungeon, they were shocked to hear that Flan was still studying in the library. It's amazing. I can stay in curry for a whole day. I don't have that kind of patience. What? Reading or something doesn't have the kind of blood-spurting stimulation at all, it is only fighting that can be full of blood. Lefia was trembling, the Amazon female warrior or something, as expected, violent. Is he still working hard to become stronger? This is the voice of IC. Loki didn't know when he popped up, grinning and ravaging Rafia who couldn't dodge. We are looking forward to his next ability value update, you guys. Tion asked curiously. His great achievements in leveling up should have been enough, right? That time he leapfrogged and killed a LV.2 saber-toothed tiger or something. Ah, I can upgrade a long time ago. Too soon, it's less than a month away. Bert kicked the door open and came back at some point. Loki, there must be a limit to joking, that guy doesn't want to level up in a month, isn't that? He, Bert. Do you have a sense of urgency? Maybe that kid Flan can catch up with you in half a year. Bang bang, Bert left. Ha 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 ha. Bert, like this is so interesting, we're going to die laughing. Loki, your bad jokes aren't funny at all. Hey, don't mess around. That is to say, from this day on, the residents of the Loki family fell silent for some reason. Every day before dawn, they disappeared one after another. The main god Loki stayed alone in the vacant room, and could no longer make out with the beautiful girl. Everyday faces either Finn, Riveria or Grace. Hey. Loki, you haven't been in a good mood these days, has something happened? Finn asked knowingly with a smile. Hey, that's too much, Finn. It's pretty good. With this state, when the next expedition comes, all members of the group should have a big improvement. Maybe they can rush to the 50th floor or below in one go. Stop talking, haha. We're going to hold a divine meeting today, so let's go. Ah, how long has it been since she attended the god assembly? I don't know, it's been a long time anyway. I heard from the anecdote that Loki is going to protest with a certain goddess. These gods are so boring. Otherwise, you won't go to the lower bound. The three giants chatted about some unnutritious topics and passed the time. The other side. After finishing his magic lessons during the day, Flan got into his workshop again. After more than 10 days of progress, he began to become more and more proficient, and his skills began to improve. During these times, he made several items in total. A pair of gloves, a pair of leather boots, a cloak, and a large backpack. Coupled with the belt of the first work, the basic equipment of an adventurer is complete. His task today is to make a short sword as a spare weapon. Puff, the clear water is boiling. Holding the polished No. 3 dagger in his hand, he took a closer look at it under the sunlight, and the corner of Flan's mouth raised. The teeth of young dragons are my best work. If it is sold, 20,000 fares. Most of this price is for materials. Maybe my craftsmanship is only worth 5,000. Shrugging his shoulders, he took the hard leather sword sheath that had been made earlier, and put that number 3 short sword into it. The staff needs to be maintained, it's all money. After 10 days of hard work and practice, Flan's savings were exhausted, and he began to struggle again. I can't help it, call wealth to make money. By the way, go to the trade union to see if there is any suitable entrustment. After tidying up the messy workshop, he took the work and went to the Adventurers Union headquarters. There are still noisy crowds and busy union reception ladies. There is never a shortage of curious people at the bulletin board. Flan also squeezed in. Dungeon, lower level, has armed monsters infested, they will snatch the weapons of adventurers. Flan squinted at what looked like an obscure announcement in the corner. Is there a hint of heresy now? Too, seems like Fells and Oranos started funding them 15 years ago. Single quote. Families recruit members with healing abilities, with food and lodging included, except for the Freya family. Which joker posted this? A horse that is proficient in deceiving ears and stealing bells. Anyone with a discerning eye will know it is the Loki family, okay. Fool. Single quote. Flan complained crazily, do you think people won't know whose announcement it is without mentioning the name? Looking for the missing adventurer on the 27th floor, the number of commissions, 17. Go to Rivera Town on the 18th floor to receive items and bring them back to the Union. Mysterious singing appears in the lower layer area, look for its source. A large number of purchases of blue swallowtail butterfly wings and poisonous moth powder, Dean Kate families. A large number of purchases of blue swallowtail butterfly wings and poisonous moth powder, Mahey family. Flan had a question mark in his head, whether these two families belonging to the same pharmaceutical faction were born rivals. As far as the myth of the previous life is known, Dean Kate seems to be jealous of the god of medicine, Mahey, so it has continued here. These two commissions are not bad. One of the two dropped items is the main material of the antidote, and the other is the main material of the mental recovery medicine, which are just within my ability. Take it. Single quote. After making the decision, Flan went to the counter to handle the adventurer entrustment procedures. After waiting in line for a while, it was finally his turn. Hello, is there anything I need to do? Hey, it's you. Long time no see, Miss Misha. Huh, I haven't heard from you for almost a month. I thought you were missing. Are they all so straightforward? Misha rolled her eyes cutely. I have been working in the union for many years. I have seen too many such things. Not to mention every day, adventurers who are looking for a missing family member request release. As she spoke, she also pointed to an elite counter lady who was working hard among the 2 stacks of Gao Wen's papers behind her. Here, this is Agina, my best friend. See those 2 stacks of documents, they are all entrusted to find the missing adventurer. Flan raised his eyebrows and twitched the corners of his mouth. He was obviously terrified, there were so many of them. Adventurers, no matter if you were ridiculed or something, in short, living is victory. Oh, it's getting far, what's the matter with you this time? Ah, except the commission from the Mahey family and the Dean Kate family. That, no problem, wait a minute, what are you talking about? Miss M.I. Shaw listened calmly at first, but then broke down immediately, her voice soaring to the point of screaming. With a face full of disbelief, she pointed at Flan tremblingly. That's a monster that only appeared on the 11th and 12th floors, do you want to court death? Seeing her terrified appearance, Flan decided to hide the truth. Don't be nervous, Miss Misha. I'm not alone, there are several teammates. Do you think I can go to the 12th floor just because I am a newcomer? I'm afraid I don't know how to die. Phew, I was taken aback. Hey wait, when did you have teammates? Seeing her attitude of breaking the casserole and asking the bottom line, Flan tricked and fooled her. I can tell you, if you don't want to become one of the missing people, you must do what you can. Don't do stupid things and be blinded by greed. Well, don't worry. Looking at his indifferent expression, Misha sighed. At this time, the half-elf lady stood beside her. Misha is all for your own good, sir. Are you the one Misha mentioned, Miss Agina? Agina pushed her glasses, said with a smile. Yes, meeting for the first time. Flan shook her hand. Ah, I heard Riveria say you did, as if she and your mother were old acquaintances. Huh, Lord Riveria. Misha sighed helplessly. Forgot to mention, this handsome guy is from the Loki family. You turned out to be the Loki family. Began to be curious, women are so strange. Newcomers, just newcomers. LV.1 like me in the family is nothing. Mr. Flan, it is not a good thing to be overly humble or even belittle yourself. You goblins are so stiff. Okay, this is the commission you want to accept. When the time comes, you can take the things directly to Mahé or the Dean Kite family in exchange for rewards. They have already paid the handling fee for our union, remember? Understood, then I will take my leave. Okay, bye. Agina watched Flan leave quickly, and asked Misha curiously. A newcomer to the Loki family. How strange. What's strange, isn't the big family always recruiting people? Here, there is still a recruitment request posted over there. Ah, it seems to be the same thing. After completing the entrustment procedures, Flan went to Welf's workshop and told him that he would explore the dungeon tomorrow and ask him to prepare. After that, he returned to the station, and he still had important things to do. Nothing else, just updating the ability value. He has the feeling that he has reached the bottleneck. No matter how he exercises, fights, or accumulates knowledge, his ability value seems to be fixed there, motionless. Then if he wants to continue to become stronger, he can only take that step, sublimation. He has already mastered the forging skills, coupled with the systematic study and practice of magic knowledge these days, he can make some simple magic props with ease. The key to the goal of developing ability is already in hand, and with the addition of a small cheat plugin, increasing the possibility of magic, the time has come. Loki, are you there? Knocking on the hall door, Flan walked in. Oh, I'm so bored that I'm about to grow hair. Does your coming here mean that you are going to ask us to update your ability value? Okay. Hey, okay. Tisk tisk tisk. The upgrade speed of 1 month, if it is exposed, it will definitely scare those gods to death. It will break Icy Tan's record. Low profile. Let's go to the god room. Still the same, with his back exposed, Luoji spared his divine blood to unlock his abilities. Let's see how much. Hiss. The god's hands trembled, and he gasped. The blinding ability was so shocking that she didn't know what to say. Whether you kid is human or not, it's too scary. How much? Loki. See for yourself. Name. Flan Algon. Level. LV.1. Ability value, Strength. SSS 1233 Right pointing arrow SSS 1999 Durability. SSS 1233 Right pointing arrow SSS 1999 Delicacy. SSS 1233 Right pointing arrow SSS 1999 Agility. SSS 1233 Right pointing arrow SSS 1999 Magic. SSS 1233 Right pointing arrow SSS 1999. In 1999, as a device, this is my bottleneck, I can feel it. Upgrade. Loki twitched. Why did he feel that there was a little bit of resentment in the child's tone, maybe even disappointment? This is completely beyond the limit of the people of the lower realm. Okay, but after thinking about it, this is our child, the stronger the better. Hey, let's do it. Ding ding ding. The three-dimensional sacred characters are like the gears of a clock, floating and flashing up and down layer by layer, and then a certain number changes with a click, from 1 to 2. So far, Flan has used his great achievements to complete the sublimation of the device, and successfully promoted from a low-level adventurer to a superior adventurer. First of all, let's congratulate you, you have completed the sublimation and become stronger. Flan pursed his lips and smiled shyly. Let's take a look at your development ability, there are so many options. Boxer, broken, magic, forge, mystery, abnormal resistance, there are so many of them, there are 6 in total. Quote. Loki opened his divine eyes and raised the corners of his mouth. Mysterious is a super rare development ability, you should already have a choice, right? Quote. Loki narrowed his eyes and tilted his head to look at his profile, waiting for Flan to choose for himself. Well, this time I will choose forge and mystery, and I will choose magic and others when I upgrade next time. Blacksmith and mysterious. It's a reasonable combination with your skill set, so I'll choose it. Okay. Loki was chatting with him while operating. Tisk tisk, you child, you can choose 2 development abilities at the same time every time you upgrade your level. You are envious of others. You have twice the number of others at the same level. Now the advantage is not clear. After the level is higher, it is really I had no idea how strong it would be. Flan also imagined what the future would look like, and the corners of his mouth rose wildly. Loki, Loki, Loki. I choose to focus on development in the early stage. Whether it is forging or mystery, I can gain a large amount of knowledge, which can quickly improve my ability value, and then choose development ability to increase combat power. That's stable enough. That's why it's terrible to say that you can choose 2 development abilities every time. Okay, done. After Loki locked the favor again, he handed the report card to Flan. Name, Flan Algon. Level, LV.2. Ability value, Strength, SSS 1999 right pointing arrow I0 Durability, SSS 1999 right pointing arrow I0 Delicacy, SSS 1999 right pointing arrow I0 Agility, SSS 1999 right pointing arrow I0 Magic, SSS 1999 right pointing arrow I0. Development ability, Mysterious, Forging, Magic, Searcher, Enchantment, Destruction property, Skill, Reader, Strengthen mental power, doubles the effect in the dark, Immunity to mental pollution, Polymath. You can choose 2 development abilities each time. Learn magic without being restricted by the magic slot. When using magic swords and magic tools, the power is greatly increased. Double magic power, range, infinite super magic. Strengthen the spirit through the accumulation of knowledge. Strengthen magic through knowledge accumulation. Magic synchronously increases all attributes. Current accumulation, 5.54%. From now on, you are LV.2, are you happy? It's okay, I'm a little excited. TCH, be happy if you're happy, what's the matter with a sullen face? There are no outsiders. It's easy to irritate everyone, and it makes me feel awkward to be too much attention. It's really long-winded. Looking at the brand new development ability on the report card, Flan couldn't be more satisfied. The level sublimation from LV.1 to LV.2 is a huge leap. There is a common sense that is recognized by everyone, that is, level suppression is absolute. Under the same conditions, LV.1 will definitely not be able to beat LV.2, this is absolutely, unless the low-level person cheats. Such people are not absent, such as the high-level members of the Loki family, basically all have the ability to fight across levels, commonly known as hanging. Icy's DP's peaking skill, Revenge G, is combined with wind magic. According to Flan's speculation, if the target is a monster, the Black Wind mode can even win the battle across 2 levels. Add 1 level to the dragon monster, funny. The fierce magic spear of the 3 giants Finn cooperates with the truth of the villain, which greatly improves the effects of magic and skills in times of adversity. Commonly known as an adversity expert, the stronger the adversity, the more outrageous it is. Bert's absorption magic, Hattie, plus animalization, Moon Roar, and Twin Wolves Chase, it's strange that it can't pass the level. As for the Amazon sisters' big counterattack, Anger and Chaos, etc., I won't list them one by one, they are all outrageously powerful exclusive skills. Magic and skills and strategies, movements and games, combat experience and weapons and equipment, the combination of these factors is the full combat power of an adventurer. And if you want to fully exert your combat power, you also need to look at the battle environment and battlefield. It is precisely because of the constraints of all aspects that it is necessary to form a team to explore the dungeon. No matter how strong a person is, he will eventually be exhausted. This is the importance of the team. Flan's advantage lies in the skill system complements each other, allowing him to quickly improve his attributes and levels, and at the same time become stronger in a straight line without fluctuations in the accumulation process. As for the disadvantages, it is also obvious. The time to become an adventurer is too short, whether it is skills and strategies, movements and games, or combat experience and weapons and equipment, he is a rookie. Even after the hell training of Icy and others, this aspect is comparable to adventurers of the same level, and it is far behind the first level adventurers. Then Loki, thank you for your hard work. I'll leave first if there's nothing else to do. Yeah. Hey, I'm going to tell them the good news. Hey, Loki. You fool, mess up. Before Flan could finish speaking, Rocky Shendu ran away. Ruined. Sweat began to drip on his forehead, and he had a bad feeling. Nani? Flan LV.2. Sure enough, Lefia's screams had already come from the end of the corridor. That's right. I have to go to the weapon shop in the Tower of Babel and sell the work there. Flan, whose scalp was numb, had an idea, found an excuse for himself and ran out quickly. When Tiona and the others reached Flan's room and kicked open the door, the room was already empty, and there was no sign of him. Are you running away? Sneakily and covertly. Miss IC, please help me train. It is good. IC turned into a messenger of justice and used the excuse of practicing Lefia to relieve her mood. The 9th floor of the Tower of Babel. The weapons and equipment stores here generally sell the works of novice blacksmiths, so they are generally very cheap, and correspondingly, the shipments are also large. These knives are of good quality. The shop owner picked up a Toyo knife, took it out of the scabbard, squinted his eyes and carefully identified it, affirming Flan's work. If you look carefully, at the end of the handle, the name of Flan Algon and Sakuragiri are written in gorgeous Chinese characters, which means that this is the first generation of work. The price of this knife is 9,900 farleys. Flan raised an eyebrow, which was a bit unexpected. Reasonably speaking, the weapons of a novice blacksmith generally range from a few thousand to tens of thousands of mana. This is his practice, and the price of close to 10,000 mana is really beyond his expectations. This set of armor is called Gladiatorite. The materials are relatively solid, and it costs 15,000 mana. Light armor, Mongoose armor, 8,000 mana. No problem. There are 3 sets of knives, 3 sets of armor, and 3 sets of light armor here. I'll leave it to you. Small idea, what works will you have in the future? You have to take care of me here. Okay, then I'll take my leave. Ha, goodbye. Out of the shop, Flan sighed wearily. Almost all of his belongings were smashed in, including the dropped props he hit, and these things were built in total. If they are all sold, about 40,000 fare can be recovered. After all, the boss still has to take a commission. 40,000 mana is not a lot. Well, after all, he is a novice blacksmith. With a shrug and a little self-deprecation, Flan moves on to his next destination. The mysterious development ability has been obtained, and he will also start making magic tools. For monsters, a magic tool that is more useful is oil explosion. But the raw materials are not easy to get. It is said that firestones are basically not circulated in the market. Even the blacksmiths get them from the family, which directly cuts off Flan's channel. Just ask Welf tomorrow. For the rest, the previous plan should be implemented. That thing was conceived before. I don't know if it can be made after possessing the mystery. Jianyu lay familiars, the gods come from the Far East. The children of the family have lived under his protection since they were young, and it is not wrong to call him the king of children. This family has not been in Orario for a long time. Whether it is the results of dungeon raiders or business, it is generally a bit inappropriate to say that poverty is more accurate. He is a poor god, but he is very kind and caring to children. It should have the same personality as Loki, watching over as the parents of the children. Because the family members are relatively poor financially, their residences are also relatively remote. This is the back alley of Northwest Avenue, located in the 7th District. It is probably a neighbor of the Twilight Pavilion, located in the 8th District. The old collective housing is built on the narrow streets in the Northwest District. I don't know if it's for some reason, but the style of these collective housing is the Far East style. Jian Yulei familiars is stationed here. When he came to the door of a big house, Flan stood there and looked inside. Who are you looking for? A short-haired girl in a violet kimono that only reached her thighs was working in the yard when she saw a man looking in front of the door, so she came up to ask. I remember that her name is Hitachi Chikusa. She is a girl with a weak personality. Single quote. Flan recognized her identity, then smiled and stepped forward to salute. Is it Jian Yulei Familia? I am Flan Algon, from the Loki Familia. Of course this visit is private. Is that the Loki family? Flan took off the cap of his cloak, nodded with a smile. Ah, that's what you're thinking of. I'm not concerned with the family this time, I just want to ask Ms. Yamato May of your family to do me a favor. Well, Mr. Flan, please come in. Trouble for you. No, no. Chikusa led Flan through the courtyard and came to the guest room. Master Jian Yulei, here comes a guest. Oh, is it a visit to us? It's really rare. Following the sound, a male god wearing a simple kimono and combing his horned hair came out. As far as Flan knows, this man has a very friendly personality and loves to help others. The most important thing is that he is quite popular with women, but he doesn't know it. To put it bluntly, he is a straight man. The gods behind him call him the natural little boy. Thinking of the dark history of Tianshan, the corner of Flan's mouth twitched, and he hurried forward to say hello. Hi, Mrs. Jian Yulei. My name is Flan Algon, and I am from the Loki family. This is my private visit, and I would like to entrust your family, Ms. Yamato, to do a little favor. Hey, are you looking for that child? Hey, find me. A girl named Yamato Ming appeared, and she was not alone. Beside her, there is a strong young man nicknamed Big Man. I remember his name is Kashima Sakura, LV.2, and he is the head of the family. Hearing the voice, Flan turned to look at her. The girl has long black hair with a shawl. She may be afraid of affecting the battle, so she tied it into a slanted ponytail and left 2 strands of sideburns on her forehead. He is tall, wearing a pair of knee-high dark red boots on his legs. Yes, I want to entrust you with a matter, ma'am. It can be regarded as an adventurer's entrustment. Oh, can you explain it in detail? No problem, the matter is very simple, I just want to see your gravity magic. Including Jian Yulei, everyone looked at each other in blank dismay. What kind of commission is this? Ah, you child, just entrust it, it's just a magic spell, and I'm not that Dean Kate guy who puts a price on Amide's magic and sells it out. Jian Yulei raised his hand to his forehead and shook his head. Ming, you can use it here, it just happens to be a practice. This, Master Jian Yulei, it's not good. It's nothing, it's just a small thing. Flan was a little embarrassed, and bowed deeply. Thank you very much. If there is a need in the future, I will be there on call. I said it's a trivial matter, don't be so stubborn. And Yamato Ming also came over at this time. Your Excellency, is it all right here? That's right, it doesn't need a large range, just show the magic attribute. Okay. After all, everyone stood aside, and Yamato Ming stayed alone in the middle. Immediately, the singing sounded. Flan narrowed his eyes slightly and listened intently. Whether it's tone of voice or sense of rhythm, it's a completely different style from Rafia's. Calling the name of the Supreme, sincerely and sincerely. We are the invincible warrior gods, the noble guardians of the 9 heavens. Bestow the divine power on the humble and majestic body. Save, the light of purification, the blade of evil. Let's sweep, the great sword of tranquility, the spiritual sword of conquest. Now here, call me after my name. Descent from the sky, unify the earth, Shenwu fighting Zheng. The chanted mantra sounded slowly with passionate tone, and then the unique Far East style, purple magic circle unfolded from the sky, and the huge magic essence quickly gathered into a giant sword, and fell straight to the ground, piercing at the same time, a larger magic circle was launched again. Suddenly, Huge pressure fell on the whole body, making Flan directly bend down. This gravity. Ah, it seems that your child's level is higher than that of life. If it is an enemy of the same level, it is absolutely impossible to persist within the gravity magic of life. Flan closed his eyes to experience that feeling, and at the same time mentally sensed the law of the magic essence around him. Okay, Miss Ming. Oh, is this all right? Yes. Okay, then, Your Excellency, I will put away my magic. Life put away the magic, and the terrifying gravity instantly disappeared from Flan's body. If it wasn't for the dull pain all over his body, he would have thought it was an illusion. I'm really sorry to trouble everyone. In front of the door, everyone bid farewell to Flan. I've said it all, it's a trivial matter. If you want to repay, just visit my booth more often. Ah, is that a mobile kiosk for potato balls? Ah, you know it too. Well, Ace seems to like this a lot. Is Sword Princess S. Wallenstein? Let me think about it, it seems to be she frequents, I have the impression. Then I will cheer you on with Icy next time. No problem. That's it. So farewell, Lord Jian Yule. Okay. Leaving Jianyu Thunder Familia, Flan took out a booklet from his pocket and recorded something while walking. I saw all kinds of incomprehensible formulas and symbols written on it, and I wrote a whole page without finishing it. This time, he not only lost another spell, but also had other purposes. This is a miracle that can only be performed after possessing mystery. Mystery, literally. The brief introduction is this: the ability to activate 18 miracles of gods, known as divine skills, the most famous of which is the Philosopher's Stone. The sage who created the Sage's Stone broke the taboo of life and death, and gained immortality, although there is a price for it. This shows how exaggerated this development ability is. Even for Flan, as far as he knows, there are no more than 5 people in Olali who have mystery, which is a super rare ability. As for the prerequisite for obtaining this condition, it seems to be related to reading sacred texts. Just in case, Flan also systematically learned this kind of characters from Riveria in his previous study. As for whether it is useful or not, he doesn't know. Boom, it's so hard. This is the inevitable fate of walking while lowering your head and concentrating on writing formulas. If the object you hit is of a high level and is wearing armor, the fate will be even more miserable. Hiss, the nose is so sour. Flan sat on the ground with red eye circles, gasping for breath, dropping his notebook and pen aside. Are you okay? Hearing this familiar voice, he couldn't help but sigh how small Olali is. Ace. The girl bent her knees together, supported her knee with one hand, and stretched out one hand towards the young man who was lying on the ground. There was a calm expression on his face, only a hint of surprise flashed in the depths of his golden pupils. Well, I accidentally bumped into you. Taking the girl's delicate hand, Flan stood up. No, it's all my fault. I lowered my head and was busy recording things and didn't look at the road. Ah, it's a good thing, keep it secret for now. Well, Icy puffed up her cheeks, and her lips became he-shaped, so cute. Faced with the girl's coquettish appearance, Flan patted her on the head with a funny smile, and then picked up the notebook that was left on the ground. Did you just come back from the dungeon? Ace returned to normal, walking with Flan with one hand on the hilt of her sword. Well, and you, Flan? I went to the Adventurers Union to pick up 2 commissions, and I will complete the exploration of the dungeon tomorrow, so that the income will be more. Flan is short of money. The young man twitched his eyebrows, not knowing how to answer. This kid never seemed to worry about money. Whether he was exploring the dungeon by himself or something, most of the income was given to the family members. I keep a very small part for myself, but this very small part is an astronomical figure for Flan now. Sort of. I still have some here, do you want to use it first? A word flashed through Flan's mind: I was adopted, I was a little boy. Stop it. It's not good to care about the influence of girls borrowing money. Take it. So serious, this face, especially the unwavering eyes. I will pay you back when the time comes. Icy ignored him, just stared straight at him without wavering. Hey, I'm just under my command, don't look at me like that, it's a lot of pressure. Seeing the young man softened, Icy had a rare smile on her face. Hey, I read that right, did you just laugh? You read it wrong. It can't be wrong, anyway, I'm already LV.2. Flan hates it. Ice seemed a little shy, and quickly moved away. Wait for me, let's go back together, don't go so fast, it's really. Under the setting sun, two figures were chasing after each other, and the bond between the youth and the girl was getting deeper and deeper. Twilight Pavilion, it's time for dinner again. Even if he was sitting in a corner and trying to keep a low profile, his body could still feel those weird eyes. Tut tisk tisk, run, why don't you run away Flan tilde. Tiona looked at him kindly and sat on his left. Icy was sitting close to his right, with a glass of clear water in front of her, without looking sideways. Just the position she occupies is a bit intriguing. Directly opposite, Tion's smiling eyes were bent into crescents, and she smiled forcefully without saying a word. Rifia was also on the opposite side, but she was rather strange, her pretty face blushed and swayed for a while. All the attention was on Ace, the occasional horrifying glance at Flan. Okay, it's scary, the aura of Miss Tion and the others. Raoul shivered away from the center of the battlefield, his scalp tingling. Not promising. And she sighed when she saw the appearance of her friend at the same time. As for Flan in the center of the vortex, cold sweat dripped from his forehead, and his eyelids kept trembling. Well, Tion, if you have something to say, don't you have this expression, a little scary. Hey, Tion tilde I heard that you have upgraded. It's okay. You also learned the ability to develop, mysterious. Okay. Wow. That's great. We also have a mysterious boss in our family. That's right, mystery is the exclusive development ability of the boss. Whether it's Saint of the Battlefield Amide, or Almighty Asfi, or Sage Fells, or Descendant of Daedalus Baka, which one is not the boss? That's right, these four people are the holders of Olali's mystery. Wow, Flan. You don't know, it's the mystery that can make magic items. Most of them are good things that can't be bought with gold coins. Quote. Flan rubbed his nose, and thought again, isn't it? Except that most of the magical items Amd made mysteriously were medical magic items, Asfi's magic items were the guarantee of her own combat power, and she never sold them. Well, Fells didn't get out the stuff at the bottom of the box until the end. The last Baka, even more terrifying, mass-produced the curse equipment with the curse of death, which caused Olali to bleed like a river. Tiona was bluffing, so excited that she couldn't help herself. Looking at the reactions of his partners, Flan knew that he had underestimated the influence of mystery. Amidst everyone's eager discussion, the happy foraging time is over. After exercising with the team members in the courtyard, actually, they were hammered on one side, to digest food, Flan took his leave first and left. Returning to the room after a long absence, Flan's expression became serious. Whether it is forging or mystery, you can enchant equipment with attributes related to ability, magic, and skills. Such as poison resistance, jewelry, indestructible, weapons, magic absorption, boots, and even a magic sword that activates magic. Squinting his eyes, Flan stroked the skin of the notebook with his hands, his mind racing through the feasibility of the plan. The forging method of that has been mastered, and the enchanting skills are also well understood, the only thing that can withstand it is the material. On the premise that it will be worn for a long time without affecting the battle, the appearance of the wrist guard is good. The main material is mithril, which has good firmness and super high conductivity. The material selection of the magic spar, the best I can come into contact with is the secret crystal of the gem beast, and its endurance is sufficient. After having a plan before, Flan asked Angie, who was in charge of the logistics, to ask for a small piece of mithril raw or in mithril. It's almost done, let's do it. Putting on his cloak and hat again, Flan appeared in the shadow of the sky corridor like a ghost, and took a closer look. The Twilight Pavilion, in the dark night has fallen into silence. With a sound of shoo, he opened his arms slightly and jumped down lightly. After landing silently, he climbed over the red courtyard wall again and disappeared into the woods. Very well, let's follow. When I was in the living room, I saw him absent-minded and sneaky, and it really is like this. Stop talking nonsense, Tiona, he will disappear after a while. I can feel his breath. That's right, there's still Ace here, he can't escape. I saw that in the shadow of the corner of the courtyard, the foursome of Tiona, Ice, and Rafia had been hiding here early. Flan's cool show operation was meaningless, even a bit funny. Here, under the leadership of Icy, the four quickly followed. Hey, can't these young people let us save some time? They're making trouble again at night. After the four of them also left, Riveria, Grace, and Finn poked their heads out from the window on the top floor, sighed and shook their heads. How should I put it? Ginger is still old and spicy. Raoul, Angie. You two should catch up too, see what they are doing, and report to me when the time comes. Don't worry, leader, the little one knows. Watching Raoul and Angie leave again. A young werewolf dozing off in a tree bared his teeth. One by one, it's really boring. Flan didn't know how bad his stealth skills were. If he knew that there were a series of people driving the train behind him, he would probably faint in embarrassment. The workshop is not far from the station, and it doesn't take 10 minutes with his LV.2 footsteps. Sitting in the workshop, with the help of the scalding fire, his eyes were shining brightly. Flan is ready to start crafting the first piece of equipment with special attributes. Ding, ding, ding. The girls hiding in the bushes not far away looked at each other, not knowing what expression to make. Where is that guy's forging workshop? Isn't his equipment ready? Tiona, don't forget. He has blacksmith and mystery now, you know what that means. Quote. Rafia exclaimed in a low voice. An enchanted equipment similar to a magic item. Yeah, there has never been a blacksmith who has the development ability of forging and mystery at the same time before. Flan is the first one. Who knows what kind of things he can make? Quote. Let's wait and see. Girls who have reached levels LV.3 and LV.5, it will not have any effect if they don't sleep overnight, just stare at Flan's forging workshop for a whole night. It wasn't until the sky was slightly bright that the sound of ding ding was silenced. It seems to be finished. I'm super curious. Go and see if you're curious. What a stupid sister. Tion's violent temper didn't care about anything, and he killed him directly. Ice did the same, leaving Tiona and Rafia staring. Wait for us, Ace. In the workshop, Flan, who was still wearing an apron and a turban, held up the newly released enchanting equipment and squinted his eyes, looking at it carefully. This is an all-black wristband with a width of 20 centimeters, on which a ceremony composed of sacred words is engraved with secret crystal powder. As for the maker's signature, it is perfectly hidden inside. Using unicorn fur plus mithril and mithril as materials, through the two techniques of forging and mystery, to develop ability enhancement, plus a ritual composed of sacred words, this work in hand is completed. Well, the enchanting effect is gravity, called gravity bracer. Too low, no momentum. Suppress the wristband, it sounds like a magic tool. Bang! The wooden door of the workshop was violently pushed open. The morning sun was a bit dazzling, and it took him a while to get used to it after raising his arms before he recognized their identities from their silhouettes. Ace. Diona, Rafia. Why are you here? Icy stared straight at the suppression wristguard in his hand, and didn't hear Flan's words at all. Tion's expression was quite arrogant. As far as your ability to move forward is full of flaws, I am afraid that the entire family will know about it. He stared, and the old blood almost spurted out. If you spend a long time making a show of yourself, you're just deceiving yourself. Mr. Flan, what is this? Could it be a magic item? He handed the work to Rafia and shrugged. Don't add the word Mr. As you can see, this is the work I've been contemplating for a long time, and it combines the special magic outfits that only I can make, including forge and mystery. It has very special properties. Do you want to try it? Thoughtful, Tion reached out and touched it. Is the equipment enchanted with power value? Similar to block, jewelry, poison resistance, jewelry, and indestructible weapons, but more special than their abilities. What about the effect? Icy, take it and try it. Is it okay? No problem, it was done for you, and I shouldn't need it myself. Everyone blinked, a little confused. Put it on and you'll know. Flan urged Ace, giggling with the corners of his eyes hanging down. I always feel that you have malicious intentions. Well, don't say that, Tiona, I'm going to be sad. Icy nodded blankly, took the wristband from Rafia, and looked it over. Holy text. Then, Ice put the wristband on her left hand. Before she had time to think about it, Icy felt as if her body was being squeezed by some heavy object, and fell to the ground unexpectedly. Fortunately, Flan was prepared and hugged her. The girl's indifferent expression finally changed, her eyes were cold. Gravity. Flan lifted her up easily, and under everyone's shocked gaze, he smiled meaningfully. How about it? How does it feel to fight in the dungeon in this state? When everyone hurried back to the Twilight Pavilion, the Big Three and Loki were already waiting for them in the living room. It seems that Rahul and Angie have come back to report. It's just that Ice was carried back by Flan, which is completely incomprehensible. Unexpectedly, she was continuously squeezed by gravity, and with Ice's slender body, her whole body was already sore and limp, so she didn't have the strength to walk. Putting Ice on the sofa, the girl struggled to straighten her waist, but she still leaned softly on Flan's shoulder. It's this thing that tossed our Iciden into this appearance. Loki, Finn, Riveria, Grace, including the Amazon sisters, Rafia, and even Bert, all looked at the magic items on the table. Well, it's okay to insist on saying that. Woo. Flan, I'm going to kill you. Hey, Loki. It's not my fault, is it? Could it be my fault? Calm down, Loki, I'm here for the family. In this noisy and vegetable market scene, the Big Three finally came forward to quell the chaos. Loki, stop making trouble. Let's get down to business first. Finn supported his forehead with a headache, and hurriedly interrupted the two people who were fighting. Flan, can you introduce your first work? Seeing everyone looking at him, he nodded, but everyone's eyes were inexplicably weird, including Loki's fierce light and Rafia's darkness. Who made IC still lean on his shoulder until now? Hey, it's called Suppressing Bracers. It's a special magical outfit that is enchanted with ability value. The effect is, as long as you wear the wristband on your body, you will be enveloped by gravity all the time. Hiss. Everyone gasped, stunned by the effect. Ice's LV.5, just a prop, can completely suppress such a first-level adventurer, are you kidding me? Isn't this thing for the enemy? But then the clever Finn noticed a blind spot. It was originally for your use. We use. Then, at the right time, he moved out his bottleneck theory again, and gave everyone a good science of the laws he discovered. Finn bit his thumb and narrowed his eyes meaningfully. You mean, this thing can increase the probability of breaking the bottleneck? No, it should be said to be breakthrough in efficiency. For example, in general battles, for people whose abilities have reached a certain height, the possibility of continuing to grow is almost negligible, but wearing it may break the current limit and further tap the potential. Loki crossed his legs and held his wine glass with a rare seriousness. You will know if you try it. According to the usual practice, even if it is Iciden, the increase in each ability value after an expedition is only a single digit. Hasn't she experienced it once? Just look at the updated ability value and you will know. Quote. Everyone looked at the blonde girl, who nodded weakly and struggled to sit up. Seeing this, Flan had no choice but to help. Rafia, you accompany Icy and me to the divine room. Okay. After watching a few people leave, everyone returned to silence again. If it really has the effect of speeding up exercise, as Flan said, then the family's top secret, right? That's right, it must be kept secret. Although each family has its own cards and secrets, that's all. One more of us is not too many, and one of us is not less. Originally, it was only a matter of updating an ability value, which was a matter of a few minutes. But now these few minutes felt so long to everyone, even the calm Big Three looked at the gate frequently. As for Flan, it's already waxed. Why didn't he expect that his secret stronghold was discovered by Icy and the others? Will there be a rest day after that? I'm afraid someone will come to your door every now and then. Especially Tiona, that big double blade, Olga. Boom. Loki pushed open the door excitedly, panting heavily. How about it, Loki? We are all stunned. The durability has grown by 1 point. How long has it been? Everyone was shocked when they heard the words, and then stared at Flan in unison, as if they were watching a delicious meal. Ahem, my brother still needs to settle accounts clearly, that. Well, how much is it? What's the matter with your expression that you don't need money? In the end, under the auspices of Loki, suppressing bracers was priced at 20 million. The special ones made by the big three cost 30 million mana. Of course, the consumption of magic spar was not included. This price is almost the same as the second level armament, of course, not including the material cost, it is pure manual cost. This crazy profit made Flan smile crookedly. After all, he is the only one who owns forging and mystery in the whole of Orario. This is a monopoly business. Finally, I finally made it through. Tisk tisk tisk, you kid has finally grown up. For Flan, with money, he can buy a lot of materials, and then make weapons and magic items. Through this process, he can absorb a lot of knowledge and quickly increase his ability value. Then sell the work, recover the funds, and continue the next cycle. Coupled with the dungeon exploration and the training of partners, whether it is ability value, skills, strategy, or combat experience, they can all go hand in hand. The road to the strong has been placed in front of him, and the rest is time. Nani? Are you busy tomorrow? In the early morning, Flan apologized to Welf helplessly, saying that there was nothing he could do. There is no way, the gang of the family members are like crazy and urging him to make wristbands quickly. After all, everyone can see ISIS improvement, and then CIC get used to it a little after entering the dungeon, can they not be in a hurry? Ah, sorry. I may not be able to explore for a month. Well, anyway, I have to hone my skills. Well, see you later. I will contact you later. What? After finishing Welf, Flan, urged by a pair of kind eyes, got into his workshop and beat the hammer day and night. A bit tiring, but fun to do. Through high-intensity forging equipment, his attribute value and development ability have grown like crazy. Day after day, the sun rises and sets, and time runs forward quickly. For more than 20 days. Aside from eating, sleeping, and dealing with physical problems, Flan is completely obsessed with work. When he returned to the station more than half a month later, his unshaven and scruffy appearance shocked his partners. Hey, you guys are too tight. Well, he voluntarily. Really? Tion. Leader tilde you still don't believe my words, woo, my heart is broken. Well, Finn. I voluntarily. Because it's good for me too. Here are your wristbands. He placed 12 wristbands with black paint and engraved silver patterns of mysterious characters side by side on the coffee table. Tion, Tiona, Bert, Raul, Angie, Alicia, Elvie, Cruz, Rafia, these 9 belong to you. You are all LV.3 LV.5, you can use the medium grade ones. Finn, Riveria, and Grace, these 3 are yours. They are top grades. Quote. Finn picked up his own wristband, looked it over carefully, and asked curiously. Is there any difference between ours except the price is touching? Flan scratched his head and gave a wry smile. It's very simple. Different materials mean that it can withstand different strengths. Of course, the process is more complicated. The core material of the medium product is the secret crystal of the gem beast. The power of the enchanted magic can completely oppress LV.5 anyone within. As for the 3 of you, the core material is the secret treasure, Millennium Tree Drops, so it can release the gravity that suppresses LV.6. Rivelia and Lefia should know better. Just a magic crystal made of water droplets from a 1,000-year-old tree does not count as my manual cost. The price of raw materials alone has reached 10 million fair. I said that you didn't pay for the materials at the time, because it was too expensive, ha 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 ha. Well, I can't afford it anyway. Okay, let's take it with you to try the effect, but before your body adapts, it is forbidden to go to the dungeon, understand? Yes. Then everyone shouted and killed one after another. In the end, only the goblin ladies stood shyly beside the royal family, waiting for instructions from the noble existence. Alicia, you guys go too. Yes, Lord Riveria. Flan was speechless. Is this a goblin? I love it. Name, Flan Algon. Age, 22 years old. Title, race, human. Occupation, mage, blacksmith, magician. Affiliation, Loki Familia. Arrival floor, floor 13. Money held, 270 million Fali. Level, LV.2. Ability value, strength. I0 right pointing arrow C678 durability. I0 right pointing arrow C678 delicacy. I0 right pointing arrow C678 agility. I0 right pointing arrow C678 magic. I0 right pointing arrow C678. Development ability mysterious H, forging H. Arms. Water Kang scepter. The precious staff presented by Rivria Rios Alf in friendship was actually forced to be accepted by friends of the same clan when they came to Olali to visit her. It is a very good staff and a weapon of the expert level, more than enough for a newcomer mage to use. The production material is the precious ore kelpite produced on the 25th-27th floor of the underground labyrinth, and the magic crystal of the battle head is made of the secret crystal of the gem beast. Special effects. Weekly increase magic power. Dagger 3 inches. The third generation double-edged short sword made by Flan Algon, with a length of 40 centimeters, is used as a spare weapon. The production materials are a mixture of the rare elite monster, Dragon's Teeth, produced on the 12th floor of the underground labyrinth, and a small amount of refined metal, black silver steel. Special effects. A sharp short sword, but not quite up to the third level of armament. Magic. Searcher. Enchantment. Destruction property. Skill. Reader. Strengthen mental power. Doubles the effect in the dark. Immunity to mental pollution. Polymath. You can choose 2 development abilities each time. Learn magic without being restricted by the magic slot. When using magic swords and magic tools, the power is greatly increased. Double magic power. Range. Infinite super magic. Strengthen the spirit through the accumulation of knowledge. Strengthen magic through knowledge accumulation. Magic synchronously increases all attributes. Current accumulation. 7.33%. Looking at his report card, Flan was quite satisfied, and it was not in vain that he stayed in the forging workshop day and night for a small month. After the previous few stimulations, Loki has calmed down a lot. Maybe it's because I was too frightened, I didn't make a fuss long ago. Although we have seen it several times, it still feels a bit too exaggerated. The total value of attribute enhancement exceeds 3,000 points or something. Flan smiled and burned the parchment on which his secret was written. Don't say that, I'm not the only one who is special. Loki, do you trust your intuition? God's intuition. The most unreliable thing is the intuition of God. Flan gazed at the night sky dotted with stars with meaningful eyes, and murmured softly. The gears of fate have started to turn, and the next Olali will surprise you. Why don't we understand a little bit? Ha ha ha, some heroes who please the gods are about to debut. A hero. Your tool is also qualified to be a hero, don't you yearn for it? Flan sneered and turned to look directly into Loki's red eyes. The hero must stand on the stage and become the point that everyone looks forward to. But in my opinion, a performer on stage, whether it's a supporting role, or even a leading role, is just a puppet. No matter how perfect and wonderful his performance is, it's not what I want. I'm a seeker of knowledge. Isn't it more interesting to explore unknown knowledge and chase the mysterious unknown than to be a hero? What's more, there is only so little in my heart, which can only accommodate my family and friends, and I can't do it anymore. Too much. Heroes who save the world or something. Sorry, not for me, that's all. Loki curled his lips into a smile. He. Among our family members, no, even in the entire Orario, you are special. My family knows about my family, Rocky. As a behind-the-scenes worker, you must keep a low profile. One person looked at each other and smiled, without saying a word. Then I shall take my leave, Loki. Loki sat cross-legged on a chair, tilted his head and supported his cheeks with his palms, his red eyes revealed a smile. Guardian of friends and family. That's a realistic statement, but do you think that's not a hero? He. Flan is in a good mood after completing the update of ability values. Every time I see the growth of my attributes, I have a sense of deja vu. Maybe the gods are like this too. Yo, long time no see. In the northern area of Olali, on a semicircular square facing the boulevard, Flan and his old buddy Welf met. By the fountain next to a bronze statue in the center of the square, the two found a place to sit down. How have you been? Flan looked at the red-haired youth, and chatted about the household with a smile. Hey, don't mention it. It's the same. Those fools still ostracize me. I don't understand how to provoke them. He got angry when he said it, and Welf's whole body cracked. I'm envious of your skill in forging magic swords. If it were me, I would be the same. Obviously, there is a magic sword forging skill that even the highest level blacksmith can't match. If you refuse to forge it, everyone will be upset, right? Especially if you are in the same industry. Don't talk about me, how about you? I haven't seen you for a month, and the spirit of Shendu is different. You smell like a blacksmith. Not to mention, Flan, who was originally not strong, gave people a feeling of being a little unpretentious before, with a handsome face and blonde eyes, a typical image of a little boy. After this period of sparring with his partners, learning magic, and forging his life, Flan began to be completely reborn. It combines the mystery of a mage, the heat of a blacksmith, and the spirit of battle. The three temperaments are mixed in one person, and with the already handsome image, there is a complex sense of contradiction but harmony. It will make people feel awkward at first glance, but it will make people curious after watching, and then they will be deeply attracted. Contradictions are full of rationality, just like Flan Algon. Well, isn't that what a blacksmith's life is like, beating every piece of material with a forging hammer regardless of day and night, striving for perfection. When I come back to my senses, another day has passed. That's right, that's the hot feeling. Okay, don't talk about it. There is still business to call you over this time. Have you decided to explore the dungeon? Enter the middle level. No problem, I have been waiting for your words for a long time. Do I need to prepare anything special? Flan nodded. The monsters in the middle layer have begun to have magic-like long-range attack capabilities, so prepare the elf armor. Tisk, it's a bit troublesome. That thing is not cheap. Flan nodded approvingly. Elf cloth, equipment made by the great elves weaving their own magic power. To put it bluntly, it is a special equipment item with the protection of elves. Like orcs, elves are classified according to attributes or habitat areas. For example, there are fire elves, wind elves, water elves, earth elves and so on. Spirit cloth is woven by these spirits of various attributes, and of course different attributes will be displayed according to the classification. The fire spirit cloth, which the fire spirit participated in the production, has fire resistance, and of course it is also very cold resistant. Another example is the protective cloth or cassock made by water elves. In addition to water resistance, it also has the effect of high temperature resistance. Spirits, also known as God's clone. In ancient times, before the gods descended, they came down to help mankind as the messengers of the gods. Of course, compared with general equipment, there is no general universal type of equipment favored by elves. They belong to the function of strengthening certain aspects. In terms of single attributes, no one can do better than them. In other words, in terms of specialization, the powerful performance perfectly surpasses the work of the most advanced blacksmith. Now he is not short of this little money, but he can't spend it indiscriminately. Especially the adventurer's weapons and supplies. As far as he knows, the price of Ice's special weapon, Sword of Despair, is only 98 million farley. Hey, without a discount coupon, a cloak costs 300,000 fares. If Flan hadn't made a fortune, he wouldn't have been able to afford even a fraction of it. Well, I still have some savings, let's help you pay together. No, I've made a lot of money recently, and I can still afford a mere elf armor. Alright, let's explore the middle layer tomorrow. Well, then I'll go back and prepare. The two chatted for a while, and then separated. In the high-end equipment store in the Tower of Babel facility, Flan reluctantly spent a huge sum of 450,000 fares to buy a fire elf cloth, cloak and a set of shirts. Standing on the Avenue of Adventurers, and thinking for a while, out of the corner of his eyes, he saw a beautiful building made of all white boulders, across the street from the Adventurers Union. On the identification plate in the middle, there is a ball of light and a herbal emblem, which is the emblem of the pharmaceutical and medical family Dean Kate family. Then the owner of this building is about to come out. Is it the Dean Kate Asylum? Immediately, the corners of Flan's mouth rose wildly. One of the three major wall hangings, Battlefield Saintess, Amide Tizonaire is the Kanban lady here. I would feel sorry if I didn't learn her magic. As the strongest healer in Olali, the only magic, Dia Flatel, that Amide Tizonaire can use is extremely abnormal. Dia Flatel, also known as complete healing, including group effects, healing wounds, recovering stamina, purifying abnormalities, and removing curses. Do you think this is the end? After the effect is applied, there will be continuous healing and purification effects. Even if you suffer from abnormal states or repeated curses twice or 3 times, there will be no problem at all. And in order to reduce the consumption of mental power, this magic can also use the universal effect of recovery, detoxification, and curse removal separately. Not to mention the general recovery medicine, even the panacea of any quality can't match the super wall-mounted high-level healing magic. In the words of the gods, as long as she sits in the rear alone, she can stabilize the front of dozens of people against the floor master. One person is a team, what is battlefield saintess? Tactical back. And then, the despicable outsider walked briskly, and stood in front of the Dean Kate Treatment Hospital. There was no need to go in. As a signboard girl, Amide's beautiful eyes like amethysts were already staring at her golden pupils. Welcome to the Dean Kate Treatment Home. Does this gentleman need anything? The courteous language makes people instantly feel good. A head of silver-white soft long hair scattered with bows, beautiful amethyst-colored pupils and dreamy long eyelashes. Wearing a family uniform based on white, one would vaguely think of a beautiful girl like a healer at a glance. Standing in front of the counter, the height difference between Flan and the beautiful human girl made the girl slightly raise her swan-like neck. The gap between 185 centimeters and less than 150 centimeters seems a bit cute. When seeing the girl for the first time, a young man who is an old second dimension flashed a word in his heart: doll girl. Standing there, this girl immediately reminded him of the image of a delicate doll girl. Gentleman Am Tizonaire, who felt that the customer's eyes were a bit strange, couldn't help but reminded him aloud. Awakened from his thoughts by the voice of a human girl, Flan apologized with a smile. I'm sorry, it's really miss, you are too, how should I put it, the beauty is so delicate that I am a little lost. The girl has seen this kind of formation. The delicate little face turned red in an instant. Please don't talk nonsense, sir. Flan gave a big smile. I'm not talking nonsense, it's really beautiful. Is he just flirting with me? What to do, how should I respond? He looks really handsome, and it's my type. Ahmed struggled inwardly, and the perfect posture of her body began to shake. Miss Amd. Flan posted it at some point, shaking her hands in front of her delicate face. Sorry, this sir, what did you just say? Flan looked at the girl with a flushed face, wandering eyes and lowered her head in embarrassment, speechless. It turned out that she didn't know when she started a small theater in her mind, completely forgetting about the guests in front of her. Flan Algon, from the Loki familia. Sorry, I didn't expect you to come from the Loki family. Speaking of which, your family is still our regular customer. I've heard about this. It's said that Dion, sisters Diona, Ice, and Rafia often visit here. By the way, I'm here to ask. I heard that your main god Dean Master Kate sold your healing magic, is there such a thing? Well, the girl puffed up her cheeks cutely, as if she was a little displeased. This was not my intention, it was forced by Master Dean Kite. Alright, so you can use magic if you pay for it. In principle, yes. Do you need treatment? If it's not serious, although there is suspicion of marketing, it's cheaper to use our medicines. 20 sticks of recovery medicine, 10 sticks of each, advanced recovery potion, and advanced mental power recovery potion, 5 sticks of antidote, and 2 sticks of wild elixir, magic. Quote. Hey. In the end, Amid showed Flan his magic. To ask why, it is because Flan gave too much. The main effect of general elixir is to restore physical strength, recovery medicine, fill the skin that has been cut off, stop bleeding, and repair broken bones. This kind of recovery effect equivalent to magic requires the use of advanced elixir, advanced recovery medicine, or panacea medicine will do. Recovery potion costs 1000 mana each, advanced recovery potion costs 10,000 mana each, advanced mental power recovery potion costs 20,000 mana each. Antidote costs 5 mana each, and wonderful medicine each 500,000 fares, a total cost of 1.42 million fares, plus the price of 1 million fares for AM to sell. One-time consumption of 2.42 million fare. Adding in the 450,000 mana for the purchase of the elf armor, 2.87 million mana disappeared out of thin air in one day. It can be seen that the profession of adventurer earns a lot and spends a lot. Is that all right? In a separate treatment room belonging to the Dean Kate treatment home. The petite girl in a beautiful white uniform unfolded a magic circle, showing her magic to the young man in front of her. The magic circle is a powerful ability that can only be developed by learning the magic guide, a magic specialization item that represents a senior mage. The magic circle can bring various subsidies such as power enhancement, effect range expansion, and mental power efficiency when using magic. It is a high-level magician's identity certificate. But, the beautiful girl in front of her just used her own magic to create a magic circle that only high-level mages can develop. But if you look closely, it's different. Amide's magic circle is a diamond-shaped pattern, the color is white, and there are mysterious graphics and complex lines in it, which represent holiness and healing. As she injected spiritual power, the pure white radiance rising from her feet also continued to grow stronger. Okay, Miss Amd. It's ready. I see. The sound fell, and as the girl slowly put away her magic, the magic circle gradually disappeared, and the treatment room returned to normal. Mr. Flan, please allow me to presume, GN. You, in good health, seem to have no reason to spend a huge amount of farley to do this kind of thing. Looking at the girl with a serious attitude, Flan couldn't bear to be deceived. After thinking about it, he decided to tell the girl the truth. Can I trust you? What do you mean? Help me keep the secret, except for my family members, you're the first outsider to know. Amide's expression remained unchanged, but she just blinked her big purple gemstone-like eyes. Please rest assured that helping clients keep their secrets is the basic quality of a qualified therapist. Okay. With that said, Flan uttered her familiar incantation amidst Amide's shaken expression and exclamation. Steaming black tea is placed in the middle, and on both sides of the tea table are the silver-haired human girl Amd, who is sitting with her hands very ladylike on her lap, and Flan, who is stirring a fairy-made beautiful teacup with a spoon. This is the VIP reception room of the Dean Kate treatment home. As Olali's premier treatment facility, the work here is quite busy. No, some adventurers came in and out from here, some of them came to visit their partners, and of course most of them came for treatment. As the Kanban lady and chief therapist of this treatment home, Amide is usually very busy. But now it is rare to find time to receive the blonde young man from the Loki family by himself. I didn't expect, besides Lady Riveria and Lefia, there is actually a third person in the Loki family who can use more than 4 kinds of magic. There are complex emotions in the eyes of the beautiful human girl. Exclamation, surprise, and intertwining among them make the girl's thoughts confused. Actually, I'm a newcomer. It's normal if you don't know, Amide. In total, I've been in this city for less than half a year. This is even more surprising. If I feel right that you are already an advanced adventurer, your upgrade speed is hard for me to describe. Flan lowered his eyes slightly, forced a smile. Well, Amd, can you stop raising the leveling speed? Just like you didn't know before, I am a character who doesn't like standing in the spotlight. Looking at the man carefully, Amide's small face was astonished, and then he burst into a laugh, and then realized his gaffe, and hurriedly covered his mouth with his hands, his shoulders trembling. Ah, is it that funny? For me, the ordinary days are the real ones, just like now, drinking tea quietly, reading books, occasionally studying magic, creating some favorite works, such ordinary daily life. I think it's good compared to those big guys who stand on the stage and dance on the death side every day. Looking at the young man's helpless face, Amide barely stopped laughing and took several deep breaths before regaining her ladylike demeanor, but the smile in her eyes couldn't be hidden no matter what. I didn't expect Mr. Flan to be such an interesting person. Among the adventurers I have met for so many years, they are all for fame, wealth, and power. They dream of becoming a hero and obtaining everything. But you are the only one who refuses to stand on the stage. You have a good personality, or something else. Anyway, it's interesting. You have successfully caught my mind, which is probably what Amide meant. Okay, I have a showdown. In fact, I am afraid of death. Amide's big eyes turned into crescents, and responded softly. Mr. Flan is very frank. The young man took a sip of the black tea brewed by the girl herself, and a sweet and fragrant taste poured down his throat. Flan couldn't help squinting his eyes. This is the best black tea I've ever had. The girl's face was blushing. What's the matter with this man, but why is she a little happy? I've been bothering you here for a long time, so I should say goodbye. I will visit you again when I return from the dungeon. Okay, then I wish you the best of luck. Thank you, see you later. Flan is not a sloppy person either. After drinking the tea, Shiren left with the medicine and the elven cloth, purchased this time. Twilight Pavilion. I see and others who were already stimulated by Flan to die, now have the support of suppressing bracers in their hands, and they live in the dungeon like crazy, as if they have returned to LV.1 period of time. The resident mansion is deserted, without any smell of fireworks. Even the cooks in the back kitchen are the same. I heard that they are going to be supporters. Standing there in the empty hall, Flan looked dazed. So, I have to settle for dinner myself. Scratching his head annoyed, he took a look around the kitchen. The ingredients are all there, forget it, make a meal by yourself. In the experience of previous life, if the performance in all aspects can only be regarded as quite ordinary, then Flan has completed a special enhancement in the aspect of cooking. From the first cooking, he seems to have a natural intuition. He can accurately grasp the amount of spices and seasonings, and cook food above the average line. And this kind of talent is naturally brought here. When he first came to this world, Flan, who had only a suit of clothes, was penniless and lived alone in a corner of the village. In order to survive and even fill the stomach, making money has become the most important thing at present. Basic necessities of life, food, housing, and transportation, all the world revolves around these four words. So Flan, who has a good cooking skill, naturally chose this item as a start. There is a small square in the center of the village where I live. Normally, residents, passing merchants, and adventurers gather here in their spare time. It is a very lively place. The next day, he used the dried meat, vegetables, and fruits preserved at home to make delicious skewers here, and turned himself into a mobile vendor. The intoxicating fragrance floats far away, and gradually begins to attract guests. The excellent cooking skills can be said to be the peak start. In just one day, he conquered the stomachs of most people in the village, including the white-haired boy from a peasant background. Brother Flan, what is your dream for the future? This was a topic that the teenager chatted with the youth once when they were setting up a stall in the square. Be a great polymath, a seeker of mysteries. Don't you think unknown knowledge is so fascinating? It's amazing, compared to polymaths. Belle wants to be a hero in a fairy tale, so you have to work hard. A hero, it's not so easy to be. Flan finally left a slightly meaningful sentence before disappearing from the sight of the white-haired boy. In the next few days, he did not see the young man. It is said that the young man left the village alone and went to the center of the world, the labyrinth city Orari. Recalling the days when he first came to this world, Flan smiled. If you count the days, it won't be too long before that kid comes to Olali. Standing in front of the table, looking at all kinds of ingredients, Flan thought for a moment, and picked them out. Mushrooms, garlic, onions, cheese, sweet red wine, a little cured anchovies, capers, juniper berries, toasted pine nuts, chopped walnuts, madara, sage, thyme, oranges and lemons, and finally a yellow mustard dressing. Plus a big piece of pork belly. Flan is going to cook a fairly well-known dish called crispy roasted meatloaf. To put it simply, the above ingredients are minced, put into a pan and fried, and then spread evenly on the pork belly that has been made into a butterfly knife, and finally rolled up tightly and tied with a rope for baking. It's easy to say, but it's more troublesome to do. Since he became an adventurer, he hasn't had a good meal for a long time, except for the big meal at the Plenty Mistress. While the mansion was empty, Flan decided to treat himself on the sly. With the main course, eating meat alone will make you tired, so naturally you have to make a pot of soup. Not far from Olari, there is a small harbor town called Melon, which is the sea entrance and exit of Olari, and a large amount of seafood is sent into the city every day. Of course, there is no shortage of kitchens for the Loki familia. A large black fish boiled into a soup, sprinkled with coriander leaves and dripped with spices. As for the end, I made another big pot of dessert. The name of the dessert is Rotgrütze, which means red berry dessert. The main ingredients are berries and starch. There are many varieties of berries in the kitchen. Black currants, red currants, raspberries, strawberries, blackberries, blueberries, sour cherries. They are all common in the market. Maybe a cute girl in the family loves them. Anyway, I have a lot of them. Desserts are easy to make. Put 3 spoons of black currant juice into the starch and stir well. Then pour the berries into the pot. Add the prepared black currant juice starch, add sugar, and cook. While you wait for the kebabs and berries to cook, make a little herb sauce. Milk, sugar, eggs, cream, starch and key vanilla pod. Then the simple dessert is done. Bread, barbecue rolls, soup, and desserts were all served on the table. In the restaurant that can accommodate 50 or 60 people, only flan was deserted. But he enjoyed the atmosphere very much. The tranquil environment made him indulge, and he relaxed physically and mentally. I'm gonna start now. Life always needs some sense of ritual, Flan said with a put-on smile, then picked up the knife and fork. Wow, what does it smell like? Never smelled it before. Good. It smells good. Bang, the closed door of the restaurant was pushed open. The 2 sisters Diona and Dion, Ace, Rafia, Raul, Angie, Alvi, Lee, and Bert at the end. Only Alicia, Riveria's secretary, is missing. Flan. Hey, you didn't make it yourself, did you? You still have this kind of cooking skills. HMPH, it's not a good habit to eat alone. It was even simpler for Ace. A pair of golden eyes stared blankly at the berry dessert between the red baixiang, and finally converged into 2 words. Want to eat. Flan's face turned black, and he froze there, neither eating nor not eating, almost crying without tears. Is it better to come early than to come at a good time? Love. Good. Delicious. Wow. What is this? There is still this kind of barbecue method. The style is completely different. It's from your hometown. Crispy on the outside and tender on the inside, fat but not greasy, plus the stuffing and spices inside. Is this heaven? Well, with your skills, you can make a lot of money by opening a tavern without being an adventurer, Flan. The happy Tiona kept patting him on the shoulder and praising him, completely oblivious to the terror in the corner of someone's eye. After working in vain for 2 hours, I ate a little by myself, damnable. It's delicious, Flan. Icy spoke the most heartwarming words tonight in a girlish tone. Well, as long as you are satisfied. HMPH, what kind of adventurer are you? The weak should stay on the ground. Aren't you quite capable? Bert, the Tsunere wolf, is using his unique method to save the weak again. Knowing his character, Flan wasn't angry at all, but smiled back. Cut, boring. Kicking the stool away, Bert ran away wagging his tail. He always felt that he was seen through, and that feeling was very uncomfortable. Well, that's what Bert is like. He doesn't mean anything else. Thinking Flan was angry, Tion comforted him. Ah, I know. Tsunere. It's the kind of behavior that hides shyness and acts tough and arrogant. Speaking barbarously, with a tough and arrogant attitude, I'm an old second dimension. To what? Ah, nothing. Everyone looked at each other, but they burst out laughing when Flan woke up so suddenly. Tsunere. Ha, I'm dying of laughter, Tsunere wolf. Don't let him hear you, cluck. As for Raul and Lee, who wanted to laugh but didn't dare to laugh, for fear of being beaten up, it was really hard to hold back. Hey, what you say is true, don't mention that I said it. My LV.2 little arms and legs can't stand it. TCH, coward. I call it tactical avoidance, and it's different from the reckless Amazon female warrior you all know. It's not that I'm afraid, I'm telling the truth. Yes, tactical avoidance. Noisy sounds came from the restaurant. The originally deserted mansion became lively again. The next day, the huge labyrinth city came alive again, the magic stone lamps on the side of the road began to dim, and the sky began to brighten. On the bustling streets, there is a steady stream of people. Trade union employees and military police have started to work, and they can be seen occasionally. Foreign businessmen with their goods followed the carriages and rushed on the street. Adventurers and supporters gathered together to head to the center of the city, the Tower of Babel, as if they were worshipping. Flan, who is ready to go, is carrying a brand new backpack made by himself, and is wearing a fire elf cloak to wrap his body in it. When walking, he can wear a staff and a short sword on his waist. The 8 pockets at the waist are also full of medicines, including recovery medicine, spiritual power recovery medicine, and even expensive panacea medicine. In terms of life saving, he was never sloppy. Shouldn't adventurers make the best preparations within their abilities? When he followed the large army to the old place in the central square, Welf, who was also ready to go, seemed to have been waiting for a long time. You won't be waiting long, will you? Welf scratched the back of his head, embarrassed. Because I'm too excited, you know what that is. Which kind is the child's first spring outing? Hey, how can you describe it like that? Ha ha ha, let's go. Just drop by to buy lunch. It is good. After the two walked through the fountain square for a few steps, they came to Northwest Avenue. The Mistress of Plenty is located here. The two who don't want to wrong their stomachs and are not short of money for the time being, of course they have to choose satisfactory food. Good morning, Flan Meow. Good morning, Anaya-chan. Long time no see. Yeah, Meow, let Meow think about it. It's been a month, Meow. I was busy a while ago, so I didn't come here. Today we are exploring the dungeon, let's come and buy some lunch. Bento Meow. Well, give me 4 seaweed rice balls, 2 bacon and ham burgers, and 2 bottles of fruit wine. Fruit wine. Meow. Don't die Meow, exploring the dungeon. It's okay, don't worry, I'm strong. Mr. Flan, the dungeons can never be too vigilant. Liu held the broom, and Sora stared straight at him. Let me say, the eyes of this goblin are extremely oppressive. Okay. There is no need for fruit wine, please Anaya-chan to prepare it for us. No problem Meow, just wait. After sending Anya away, Flan looked at Liu. Miss Liu often goes to the 18th floor, right? The girl was silent for a moment, and then she opened her mouth with complicated eyes. Do you know about this? I know more or less about the Astria family, so don't worry about me revealing your identity. Hearing Flan's positive response, Liu laughed at herself. An Avenger driven by passion, that's who I really am. Does Mr. Flan think such a filthy leprechaun is worth what you expect? Flan laughed. If the world were black and white, it would be too simple. Unfortunately, it is not. For example, if I were you at that time, you don't have to think too much, I must have done more decisively and thoroughly than you. There is a saying in my hometown, for Miss Liu. Blood feud is not shared, and of course blood for blood and tooth for tooth. Otherwise, what's the point of living? I appreciate your approach. Liu opened her eyes wide, her face full of astonishment. Flan's words completely disrupted her thoughts. Mr. Algon you. Your bento Meow. Thank you, Anaya sauce, this is the meal money. Then let's take our leave, Lu-chan and Anaya-chan, see you tonight. Flan, you're setting up a flag again, Meow. Waiting for you to take care of our store. Lu Nova and K. Louie also ran out smiling. Only Zaire stood aside, with a hint of doubt in her eyes. It's strange, I can't see anything. In Xie's eyes, the individual named Flan's soul is nothing special. It's ordinary, and you can't find it in the sea of people. It's even worse than the red-haired youth beside him. Really weird. Hey, you never said that the goblin waitress in that tavern is the hailstorm on the blacklist. Walking on the road, Welf, with sweat on his brow, approached Flan who was nagging. You didn't ask. Besides, why do you think that store is always full? It's because of safety. Tisk tisk, who dares to cause trouble in the prosperous mistress, it's life-threatening tilde long. From your tone of voice, that shop is scary. The people who eat and drink there are all adventurers. The corners of Flan's mouth turned up, his face already arrogant. Don't have any skills, dare to open a tavern there. Why don't you use your brain to think about it? Speaking of which, the Mistress of Abundance is directly opened on the West Street, and the height of the house is outstanding, which is quite high-end at first glance. Think about it, the authority of a certain goddesses, abundance, fertility, and love. Thinking carefully, it is terrifying. Well, forget it. It's better not to get too deep into some things. Just as they were talking, the two had followed the crowd into the dungeon. It's still the old rule, you are the avant-garde, and I am the defender and supporter. Ah, go ahead. Welf rushed into the darkness with a big knife on his shoulder. For the two of them, it is almost impossible for the monsters on the upper floor to pose a threat to them. The sublimation of the level is leaps and bounds, as if a mountain lies between the two. What's more, Flan's current ability value is not like he just entered LV.2. Measured by ordinary adventurers, he is also the top adventurer among LV.2. In this upper layer, it can be called invincible. Almost stopped thinking. PFF'd. The blade of dagger number 3 pierced through the enemy's head easily, and it felt as soft as tofu. The power is coming up, although it doesn't feel that sudden, but it is indeed stronger. Before using magic, the upper monsters would more or less cause them some trouble, and it was impossible to kill the big and rare species with a single blow, and they always had to be entangled for a while before they could be killed. That is, within this time, the monsters would rush up and cause considerable trouble for the two of them. But now, whether it is strength, durability, dexterity, or agility, all the ability values completely crush the current monsters, even the big and rare ones. The efficiency of killing monsters has increased, so it is naturally much easier. After killing a few monsters, Flan dug out the magic stones one by one from the monster corpses, picking up the money diligently. It's so strong, you guys, you won't level up, right? Welf's unbelievable eyes, coupled with the trembling eyebrows, are a bit funny. Shish, don't Zhong Yang. Hey, are you hiding information? Don't tell me, it's a secret. Come on, there are so many adventurers in the upper floor, although everyone is far away to avoid trouble, but many people saw the battle just now. I'm wearing a cloak, they don't know me, don't worry. You guys have a really bad personality. Don't you feel good about concealing your grades and not reporting them, and having secret pleasure? Let's go. It is good. In the upper layer, both the frequency and the number of spawning monsters are too low. With the current combat power of one sword at a time, the two of them may not be able to encounter a few monsters after walking for 10 minutes. Going around, through the regular road drawn on the map, they went straight to the 12th floor. Phew, here we go again. The vision on the 12th floor is still a headache, but Flan, whose strength has undergone tremendous changes, no longer feels nervous before. Standing side by side on the slope of the cave leading to the next floor, looking at the darkness ahead, both of them were full of vigilance. Middle level, and upper level, are two concepts, the strength of monsters, the number of refreshes, and the rate of refreshes will be greatly increased. Starting from the 13th floor, the monsters that appear include unicorn rabbits, hellhounds, hard rats, evil bats, and minotaurs. Although a monster like the unicorn appears in the middle level, its potential ability is only at the level of LV.1, but it is fundamentally different from the upper level monster. They already have weak intelligence. For example, they will act in groups to besiege adventurers, and even use stone axes to sneak attack from a long distance. As for the Cerberus, the potential ability has reached LV.2, and they have magical abilities. They will spit out high-temperature fireballs from their mouths and attack the enemy from a distance. It's best not to look at their range first. At the same time, sharp claws and fangs are also their weapons, plus the agility attribute of crushing upper-level monsters. Generally, most of the adventurers who entered the middle level for the first time died under the attack of hellhounds. As for the hard armor rat, it is similar to the pangolin. Their carapace hardness is quite exaggerated, and it is an excellent material for making shields. When attacking, they will curl up into a ball and then roll and accelerate to kill the enemy with one blow. Once you encounter it, you must avoid it, or you will definitely have a big problem. As for the evil bats, they usually don't appear. Once they appear, we can only say that we are unlucky, because they only appear when the grot labyrinth starts to collapse. The last is the Minotaur, who will only appear on the 17th floor. His potential ability is LV.2, and he is the strongest enemy before the 18th floor. But we won't meet it for the time being. After explaining the key points to Welf in detail, the two looked at each other, directly entered the passage. Cave labyrinth, through the openings on the 12th and 13th floors, you will be greeted by a huge ceiling. Everything in front of me, the surrounding walls, the floor of the road, and the tall ceiling, everything is all made of rock plates. In any scene, there are gray rocks scattered everywhere, which makes people think of the word cave in an instant. Gently sniffing his nose, a burst of damp air penetrated into his sense of smell. This setting is really in line with the appearance of cave labyrinth. Ah, a little exaggeration. At the exit of the channel, there is an amazing natural cave like a mountainside. On the 13th floor, there is another name, the first line of death. The difficulty of the strategy has been greatly increased, making countless adventurers fall into the sand here and become the food of monsters. Well, the field of vision has been expanded a lot, but the light source on this floor is much dimmer than that on the upper floor. Flan watched his surroundings vigilantly, and said this to Welf at random. This is a commonly used method in the team, using chat to relieve the pressure caused by the special environment of the dungeon. I learned from the library in the family that the topographical feature of the 13th floor is that the passages connecting each cave room are surprisingly long. Do you understand what I mean? Something like Main Street. Ah, it's pretty bad for fighting anyway. Once you're negligent and fall down a shaft by the side of the road, it's over. So, the current goal is to know the open battlefield, that is, the cave room. Use the fastest speed. Go go go. What do you mean? You just take it for granted. You fool knife. A single rocky road that extends to the depths, the road without bends goes straight to the dark depths, and there is no end in sight. In the corners of the walls, countless vertical shafts are hidden, the fangs are secretly exposed, waiting for the right time. Under the faint phosphorescent light, two figures separated by a distance of several meters were running fast on the straight rocky road. They were Flan and Welf. The red-haired young blacksmith was breathing slightly while carrying the broadsword. On the contrary, the blond young man with the big bag behind him was breathing slowly, and he couldn't tell he was running at all. You guy, even if you upgrade the durability, it's too exaggerated. Aren't you supposed to be happier when I become stronger? What a monster you are. PFF'd. Flan drew the dagger from the back of his waist with a clean movement, and then there was a flash of white light severed the attacking single-horned rabbit in two. The frequency of spawning monsters is completely different from the upper layer. It took less than 10 minutes for Chi Ba-san to run out, and the two had already met 3 waves of monsters. The number of each wave is as many as 5 to 7, and they are unicorn rabbits that can attack in groups. They use stone axes made from natural arsenal to besiege adventurers cunningly, and there are always 1 or 2 waiting for an opportunity behind them, using throwing axes to carry out high-threatening attacks on the enemy. Even with your ability value, it is more than enough to deal with the unicorn rabbit. I will help you keep an eye on the monsters behind and fight with peace of mind. Ah, I didn't realize that you are quite reliable. Welf stopped, holding the heavenly knife with both hands and kept fighting with the monster's stone axe. Taking advantage of the blacksmith's high-strength attribute, he swung away the enemy's attack with 1 blow, and then, finding the right moment, he dodged the attack of another monster sideways, cutting the blade across. The monster was chopped off with a single blow. At this moment, the intelligent enemy caught Welf's momentary weakness. Crack! The flying axe tore through the strong wind and struck towards him quickly. Come to the end. Ragnarok. Flame explosion. Boom 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 boom. The rapid fireball turned into a drop shape, it distorted the air, and with the throwing axe, it turned the remaining 3 monsters into black coke with 1 blow. The black and deep flames washed the passage, causing the monsters that came with the second wave to scream before dying. The powerful magical impact flooded the narrow road, and the sea of flames generated by the explosion swept an astonishing hot wind, and the gray rocks that had suffered a lot began to melt. Crackling beep. Flame thunders were burning sporadically on the ground of the rock plate, as if proving the baptism just now. Phew, I finally have time to catch my breath. After killing 2 waves of enemies in 1 breath, he finally had a rest time. Welf, use the recovery medicine to recover your strength. You can't wait for the durability to drop until your body responds, then it will be too late. Ah, I know. Recovery medicine, 1000 method is basically a necessity for exploring the underground. No matter who you are, you will take some with you when you go out. This time, in order to explore the middle layer area, Flan prepared 20 plus Welf's side, enough for two people to fight high intensity for a whole day. Crack, crack, crack. Hey, hey, why are you here again? Quote. Flan raised his eyebrows and sighed. Maybe this is the middle layer, come on. What? Come to the end. Ragnarok. Black and red flames wrapped around his body. Squinting his eyes, Flan stomped on the ground and charged straight up. After being strengthened by powerful destructive magic, Flan's full capacity value has been greatly improved at this time. Even if he is a middle level, he can do it with ease. Dagger number 3 is held in the hand, and the magic extends on it, entwined with light and shadow of the same color. Poof, 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 poof. The rapidity brought by the terrifying agility made Flan flutter and dance in the monster group, and the neat knife and light structure of the killing puzzle has a different kind of beauty. The monsters have no way of attacking him, and they can't even touch the hem of his clothes to affect Flan. Slaughter. One-sided slaughter. No matter how many came, no matter how despicable the enemy's sneak attack was, Flan relied on crushing attribute values and increasingly skilled fighting skills to defeat them one after another. 1 wave. 2 waves. 3 waves. 10, 20, 30. Until the last monster was divided into 2 halves from top to bottom by short sword number 3, the passage was quiet again. In the narrow passage, under the glow of phosphorescence, the magic stones scattered all over the ground shone with mysterious brilliance, and the corpses of monsters all over the ground interlaced in it, which was extremely spectacular. I'm so strong. Welf had been stunned by Flan's outburst. With only his current dynamic vision, he can't see the figure of Flan at full fire. The only thing that can be observed is the continuous flickering of fuzzy black light. You guy, you are too strong to exaggerate. Hey, I killed dozens of monsters by myself, I didn't even dare to think about it. Putting away the dagger, Flan let out a breath. He could already feel a faint ache all over his body. His muscles seemed to be crying out in mourning, warning him. The excessive side effects of overly powerful destruction magic are also the reason why Flan doesn't want to use it as a last resort. The huge, cross-level improvement put a terrible burden on his body. His body seemed to be moaning. Every time he stepped on the ground, every time he swung his arms, it caused him unbearable pain, plus the destruction attribute damaged the equipment. Gulu drank 2 recovery medicines in succession before Flan let out a heavy breath. Didn't you see that my state has declined? You think this kind of explosion is a draw? Welf was taken aback by the words, and then nodded approvingly. Yes, how can great power come without a price? You also come to help. Quickly collect magic stones and dropped props, this is a lot of money. The stalwart image of the strong collapsed. This guy is really hard to change. It may be because of the unexpected combat power of this team. Only sporadic monsters came up to give money in the following journey, and they never encountered the high-pressure situation before. Until the 2 arrived at the huge grotto room. This is a huge cave room. There are many sharp rocks hanging upside down from the circular ceiling. It seems that they will collapse at any time after being impacted by the aftermath of the battle. Upright. The wide combat production area is much wider than the narrow passage, allowing adventurers to fully display their combat capabilities. Such a huge space can be seen with Flan's eyesight. This is a spacious room that can accommodate multiple teams of adventurers to fight. Perhaps the probability of being occupied here is high. Phew, the threat here is more than 3.5. At least it's the case on the battlefield. Flan also nodded, took out a water bottle from the big bag behind him and took a big gulp. You can let go of your hands and feet, the shaft is too restrictive for us. There were too few people, and both of them mainly fought in close quarters. If they accidentally stepped in, the consequences would be, even if Flan could reach the 18th floor with his strong strength, Welf would not necessarily. The most important thing is, this trip to the dungeon will lose money. Flan resolutely resisted the stupidity of fighting for a day and losing money in the end. He is such a pure adventurer. Crack, click, click, click. The gray rock wall surrounding the spacious cavern was cracked. Monsters were born from it, opening their scarlet eyes. The 2 people who had been vigilant for a long time made preparations back to back, constantly hitting the monster that was born. Dozens of unicorns, and the monster's uneven skin is dark black, and its eyes emit a fierce scarlet light, making it look terrifying. Let's say it's a dog, its body is a little too strong, there are no words to describe it. That is, Cerberus. The 6 hellhounds had ferocious faces different from those of wolves. After they were born, they bared their teeth and let out low growls at Flan and Welf. Crack. The unicorn rabbit legion held a stone axe and slowly surrounded the two of them. The Cerberus was behind the battle line, and while roaring, crimson flames kept coming out of its mouth. This looks a little bad, what should I do? What else can I do? I can only go up. Welf raised his head and squinted his eyes, watching the 4-legged beast standing behind. What about the Cerberus? This distance shouldn't be too dangerous. The corner of Flan's mouth twitched. Young man, I advise you not to underestimate their attack distance. For those who have the same idea as you, the grass on the head of the grave in the first cemetery is as tall as you. Stop talking, it's weird. Replenish the recovery medicine at any time. To understanding. After the sound fell, Flan waved his cloak with his arms, and drew out dagger number 3, from his waist, holding a baton in his left hand and a sword in his right hand, and lowered his body in a fighting posture. 26 inches here I come, monsters. Come to the end. Ragnarok. The sound like an air explosion resounded through the spacious cave room, and black and red flames wrapped around the whole body from the soles of the feet. Flan's blonde hair was blown up, and his golden pupils were full of fighting spirit. Sulcher. Puff 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 puff. The straight black light stretched out more than 10 meters, and when Flan's figure reappeared, it was already a corner of the cave. This kind of visual effect is absolutely impossible to appear on the 13th floor, which is exclusive to top adventurers. However, the agility and strength of the supermodel and Flan after a sublimation, coupled with the increase of all attributes of Surtur, he insisted on playing a splendid scene that only the first-level adventure buds can play. This shit is a bit exaggerated, hey. Welf unknowingly swears again, and the whole person falls into a state of dementia. Work, blacksmith. You don't need to say it. Ah! Shouted, and the red-haired youth was also ignited by Flan's fight. Ding ding ding. The collision of weapons, the roar of monsters and the shouts of adventurers interweave an epic picture. Fighting and burning, the spacious cave room was gradually filled with corpses of monsters as time went by. Concentrating on the battle, Flan, who only has eyes on the enemy, fell into a state of emptiness. Unknowingly, his fighting began to be less rough and more concise. Clean and tidy without sloppiness, like a butterfly breaking out of a cocoon, he began to trim every movement from the inside out, making his battle look a little pleasing to the eye. Obviously a mage said that under such pressure, his fighting skills broke through. A flash of lightning flashed across his mind, Flan's movements changed. Every dodge, every slash, every jump, without delay or stiffness. Smooth, sleek, is his current state. That's it, his killing efficiency is even higher. Highly efficient killing speed. Facing the provocation of arrogant adventurers, the dungeon is angry. A large number of cracks appeared on the walls surrounding the cave room again, and monsters croaked to the ground as if they didn't need money. One wave has not been killed yet, another wave will come. The sudden increase in the number of monster groups instantly increased the pressure on the two of them. The sense of oppression on the face accelerated the heartbeat. At this moment, in the midst of the rush, the sudden horror set off alarm bells in Flo's mind. Following that feeling, he cast his gaze over there, and his complexion immediately changed. Watch out, Welf. Then his expression also stiffened. Breath of Cerberus. I saw the Cerberus hiding behind the monster group, opened its bright red burning mouth, and aimed at two targets like the muzzle of a cannon. The compressed fire ball swayed ferociously, and then released into the air in one breath. With scalding heat, it quickly magnified in the eyes of Flan and Welf. With a sound of bang, Welf raised his arm to aim, but cold sweat flowed down his forehead. That's too late. A cold light flashed across Flan's eyes, and he waved a white light from top to bottom with his right hand, then took a step back to widen the distance from the enemy's front line. Taking advantage of this gap, he raised the staff that was originally used as a block defense. Big flame explosion. Released a huge amount of his spiritual power in one breath, compressed and destroyed the flame thunder that wrapped around his body, and launched it through the staff in an instant, and intercepted the enemy's explosive flame. Boom 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 boom. The magic collision of one black and one red is like a grand explosion of fireworks. The scorching waves spread from the center point, and the high-temperature shock wave can't help blowing away the two people who had no time to dodge. Even the monster group was defeated for a while. The terrifying power caused an unknown number of monsters to be swept in by the overwhelming force, their bodies were burning with crimson and black flames, and they screamed as they struggled before dying. Ahem, Welf. All right. Enduring the pain in his left arm, Flan got up from the ground, looking for his teammates in the soaring smoke and dust. Bah, it's nothing serious. I just feel like my bones are going to break. Not to mention Flan's full-strength Pyroblast, the damage level of Cerberus, Pyroblast is definitely at the upper end of LV.2. Even if the two of them have elven cloth on their bodies, they can offset a lot of high-temperature damage by virtue of their excellent heat resistance, but the strong impact is real. Fortunately, Flan said that even with the side effects of magic, the injuries he suffered were within the control range, but Welf's LV.1, so maybe 453. Sure enough, the red-haired young man was lying on a corner of the wall, unable to move his body. Flan took a deep breath and relieved himself. It's still alive, it's not a big problem. When is it time to make sarcastic remarks? Oh ho 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 ho. The monsters began to regroup and surrounded the two of them again. The sense of oppression was oncoming, coupled with the pain all over the body, they couldn't help but shed a cold sweat. Judging the current form, there is no time for him to chant magic at this time, so he can only use the panacea. He took out the life-saving medicine from the bag on his waist and poured it on Welf directly. Fortunately, there is this thing, otherwise this time it will be finished. Still fighting. Huh. You look down on the blacksmith too much. My body is strong. But don't you treat the wound on your arm. If you bleed for a while, you will have a big problem. That's right, Flan couldn't help being injured in his body due to side effects and shocks, and even his left arm was cut by the enemy from the flaw revealed when he used the magic just now. No problem, this wave of monsters has been dealt with, we are regrouping. They have to be dealt with in one go. Flan finally felt what he lacked. Except for singing, he doesn't have a high explosive ability, the standard skill for the protagonist who can explode seeds. Perhaps, should forge a few magic swords for backup. Such thoughts flashed in my mind, and then I threw myself into the battle again. Every time I come out of the dungeon, I feel the excitement of surviving a catastrophe. Two tattered figures appeared from the entrance and exit of the Tower of Babel, sighing against the blood-red sunset. I don't know what's going on in the dungeon, what the senior said is a lesson in blood, if there is no panacea, we have already fallen. After 2 waves of intensive mob spawning, Flan is no longer conserving mental power. In less than 15 minutes, the enemy was wiped out. For a wall hanging, it is not such an exaggeration. With the breakthrough attribute before LV.1 sublimation, plus the full ability value of LV.2 level C, even if he does not use magic, he can easily match the LV.3 level 300 points G player. Of course, this is when the enemy is a vanilla super soldier. If the magic boosted by Erudite is activated, Flan will be the top powerhouse even at LV.3 level. Although he doesn't know the specific value, but according to his research, there is a coefficient after the attribute value is sublimated. For example, if a LV.3 adventurer has been upgraded at 700 points B segment before, then his general attributes should be like this. 700 A plus 700 B plus 700 C. A, B, and C are grade coefficients, assuming A equals 1, B equals 2, C equals 3. Then the total value of this person's ability is 700 plus 1400 plus 2100 equals 4200. The total ability value of LV.3 level B section 700 points is probably this number. And what about Flan, which has extraordinary properties? 1999A plus 600B equals 3200. Coupled with the additional magic, Sulture, that improves all attributes, it should not be a problem to be equal to 4200. This is also the reason why he was able to drive Wushwang to mow the grass surrounded by hundreds of monsters on the 13th floor. You really don't have a backache when you stand and talk. Do you know how much a panacea costs? 500,000 fares, 500,000 fares, and my god. Even at the middle level, with the efficiency of the two of us, it's a question mark whether we can make back our money in a day, and this is not counting the cost of equipment wear and tear, and the cost of other medicines. Sigh. Flan's heart is bleeding until now, and he always feels that today has been wasted again. Well, you can't count it like that, not to mention our bumper harvest today. The attribute value increase in this kind of huge pressure battle should not be less. Maybe I will upgrade after a while, and it is still possible to explore the middle level by then. Not at hand. Flan couldn't refute. If Welf also upgraded to LV.2, then the two of them would be able to hold on to the 17th floor, let alone the 13th floor. Forget it, let's go to the Tower of Babel facility and change the magic stone. Dropping props are the old rules. Ah, half for one person. The two blacksmiths struck up a dirty agreement in such a harmonious way. It is good to have a craft. The materials produced are directly made into equipment and then sold. The income is much higher than that of selling materials directly. The two divided the work and quickly finished the aftermath work. A total of 220,000, and each person got 110,000. It really is the middle class, and this is only 13 floors. Welf weighed the purse with his hands and sighed in the same way. No wonder those high-level adventurers are not short of money. Flan didn't dare to take over, senior adventurers are not short of money. Look at the first-line adventurers of our family, which one is rich? Not to mention the consumption of medicine and equipment every time you explore the dungeon, right? When did you not cut off the blade and come back? Taking the first-level adventurer's armament as an example, each maintenance cost is not a small amount, basically a few million fair. Ling Ling finally figured it out, and the cost of gold coins alone for the trip was more than tens of millions. If you can't bring back valuable loot from the dungeon, I'm sorry, even if you are LV.5 LV.6, you will still lose money. Even people like IC, Diona and the others are quite struggling. Okay, having a few million farleys in their pockets is a godsend. But relatively, no matter how poor they are richer than ordinary adventurers. Of course, Riveria doesn't count. If we hadn't used up a panacea, we would have made a lot of money on this trip. Yeah, I said, should we find another person? The refresh rate and number of monsters in the middle layer, no matter how strong you can't handle it. Flan stroked his chin, considering the proposal carefully. Let's take a look at the situation. It's better to find another one. But, you don't know the virtues of the adventurers outside. Hey. Okay. I'm thinking about the next thing, I'll withdraw first. Ah, I'm leaving too. Carrying a large bag, Flan came to Northwest Avenue according to the signs on the road. Tianqing Pharmacy. The shop is run by a family of medicine and treatment, Mahay family. It is said that the old god Mahay and Dean Kate are quite at odds, and Flan is considering whether to give 5 points to the collected dropped items in the commission. Although the old god Dean Kate is not pleasing to the eyes subconsciously, but Amb is cute. Hi, welcome to Tianqing Pharmacy, what do you need? Naja Oriches, a dog-like lady, her sweetheart is her own master Shen Kaihei. Well, Naja. Is there a visitor? Yes, Lord Mahay. Flan walked into the store and had a panoramic view of the small space. Facing the door was a young girl standing in a small space behind the counter. Behind her, there was a tight workbench. An elegant male god with blue long hair and the appearance of a nobleman had a gentle smile on his face. Although the plain robe on his body is completely asymmetrical to his face. Hello, Miss Naja, Master Mahay. I am a member of the Loki family, and I have accepted the adventurer commission issued by you. The content of the commission is to collect blue swallowtail butterfly wings and poisonous moth powder, right? The Loki family. Naja and God Mahay looked at each other with surprise in their eyes. You must know that the entrustment fee they released is not very high. After all, God Mahay has a well-known hobby, that is, he likes to give free potions to some newcomer adventurers. In addition, when I am in a good mood, I will give away advanced recovery medicine, or something. It is not too much to say that it is quite tight. Of course, Flan likes to call them the poor man's trio. Hestia, Jian Yule, Mahay. These three gods are poorer than each other. Ah, I'm a rookie adventurer, and I don't care about family matters. I accept some simple commissions and complete them directly while exploring the maze. Everyone should be like this. So that's it, so I understand. Then please let me confirm the material. Okay. Flan quickly opened the backpack and took out the required materials. The wings of the blue swallowtail butterfly are in good condition. There are 20 pairs here, and each team costs 5,000 fares. Poisonous moth powder. The price per gram is 7,500 fares, here is 21 grams. A total of 257,500 fares needs to be paid, please wait a moment. After confirming it, Naja turned around to withdraw the money. Mahei stared curiously at Flan, who was in a mess with tattered equipment. Li Wang Jiao. Son, have you just returned from exploring the dungeon? You're a little embarrassed. Flan touched his nose and smiled awkwardly. Ah, I don't know what's going on in the dungeon, so I can only consider myself unlucky. The mentality is not bad. Speaking of it, I have never heard your name on the roadbed. Ah, in fact, I haven't been here for a long time, so it's normal that God Mahei doesn't know me. It turns out that's the case, and it's no wonder. By the way, do you want to buy some of our elixir? I usually give discounts to newcomers. Here comes, the legendary Mare's Mercy is activated. Well, I don't know if there is an elixir that restores physical strength and mental history at the same time. Mahei's expression froze for a moment, and Naja's hands trembled beside him. Their reactions were all seen by Flan, and there was something to be said for it. You are really asking the right question. The newly developed double recovery elixir is our unique secret recipe. And it has not been sold on the market yet. Great, are you still in stock? I need 10. Hiss. Naja gasped and exclaimed in her heart. This is a big client. Flan, welcome to visit next time. Okay, then I'll take my leave. Flan left Tianqing Pharmacy happily. The adventurer entrusted the income of 257,500 fares, and bought 10 inches dual attribute recovery medicines, and spent another 200,000 fares, earning 57,500 fares. Although this elixir is very expensive, it will be clear after a little calculation. The total price of recovery medicine and high-level spiritual power recovery medicine is 21,000 fares. If you use 10 pills a year, you will save 1,000 fares. With Flan's liver emperor brushing method, almost every time he comes out of the dungeon, his mental and physical strength are in a state of depletion. As long as he mixes some general recovery medicines at random, he can save a lot of money. As for the large deposit, it was Flan's plan to buy the materials to build his own weapons. First-level adventurer armed. His ambition doesn't stop there. With 200 million small black knives ahead, of course we have to take a long-term view. Twilight Pavilion. The huge courtyard seems to surround the central tower, presenting a beautiful circular ring. There are several towers standing side by side around the main body of the mansion. It may be to correspond to the myth of a certain god. The lighting of the building is not very good. In the beautiful courtyard, the flowers and plants carefully cared for by the team members are thriving, dotted with greenery, and the quiet craftsmen also set up small fountains and magic stone lampposts. After entering the gate, 967 Flan enjoys stepping on the lawn to the atrium. Mr. Flan is back. The members who were busy in the courtyard greeted him one after another. With the improvement of strength, the influence of forging, and mystery, some grassroots members began to use honorific titles. It was embarrassing at first, but then there was nothing I could do, so Flan didn't care. Ah, I'm busy. Yes, Mr. Flan and the cadres are working so hard, what will happen if we are lazy? Then come on. Yes. Mr. Flan, I will impress you. What's the matter with the déjà vu of the hot-blooded comic protagonist? Entering the mansion, he went upstairs slowly, walked through the air corridor, and walked to his room. Flan went to the dungeon. I happened to meet the Amazon girl sister wandering in the corridor, as if she was waiting for someone. Diona, I can't see your shadow these days, when did you come back? Hee, it's noon today. That's right. The suppression wrist guard you invented is super effective. My attributes are growing visible to the naked eye every day. It's so cool. With that said, Tiona jumped up and hugged Flan's arm. CGBB, hey, don't touch your feet. My body and bones can't stand your tossing at LV.5. Ah, are you hurt? Tiona seemed to have discovered something, raised her head and asked curiously. At the same time, Icy and Rafia pushed the door out of another room. Icy was not wearing light armor, but casual clothes. The tight-fitting fencing dress with a white base color and blue border perfectly showed her beautiful figure, and it had a special beauty when paired with blue boots. The dazzling golden hair covers the smooth back, perhaps to minimize the impact under the blessing of wind magic. In the end, Flan couldn't make it up. This reveals the bad taste of the god Loki. Forcibly retracting the extended thoughts, Flan gasped as he felt the sore body. Cough, it's just a small injury, it's mainly a side effect of magic. Your magic has side effects. It won't be the same as Bert's stupid wolf, will it? Not only Tiona, but also Icy and Rafia approached curiously. I remember that Flan's magic is the same as Ice's additional magic, right? Ah, how should I put it? My magic is not easy to use. That's no wonder, because adding magic will greatly increase the attributes, and it's normal for the body to bear it for a long time. Well, I'll be sore all over, too. Ace nodded along, staring at Flan seriously, as if she wanted to see something in his face. That's right, with my LV.2 physical ability, how can I control the battle with a LV.3 value? It's strange that there are no side effects. Be careful when fighting. Well, thank you for your concern. How about you? Are you going out? That's right, I've been making a lot of noise in the dungeon these days, and I'm going to prepare the equipment. By the way, isn't Flan also a blacksmith? Can you help us prepare it? Ah, it's hard for me, I'm just a little guy from Forge H, to help you prepare the first level adventurer weapons, and I can't afford it. Flan was pretty self-aware that it wasn't something he could touch right now. Okay, but don't be discouraged. See how it took Chun so many years to reach that height. Don't worry, just keep going. As expected of the little angel Diona. Well, if you have something to do, go and do it first, don't worry about me. Then let's go. Well, see you later. After seeing off Tiona and the others, Flan looked at his room with a long-lost intimacy. Obviously just spent a day in the dungeon. Speaking of which, this room should be tidied up. His room was still the same as when he checked in on the first day. A bed, a desk, a chair, a magic stone lamp, not even a wardrobe. By the way, there is also a magician's magic workshop. Let's dig a basement under the resident. Lying on the bed and thinking wildly, he soon fell asleep. When she opened her eyes again, Olili was shrouded in darkness, the curtain of dots hung in the sky, and the bright moon was hidden behind the clouds. Glancing at the clock on the wall, it was already 10 p.m. Did I sleep for 4 hours before I knew it? It's so embarrassing. Taking off his gear and grabbing a change of clothes, Flan went to take a shower. Take a good soak to wash off your tiredness and make you feel comfortable. That's the way life should be. Playing with the ducklings on the water, Flan closed his eyes and dozed off. At this time, everyone's work and rest time has passed, and he is alone in the entire big bath, which is regarded as a special seat. Tomorrow, I will go to the Gubernian family first, and ask them to help me build an underground magic workshop, and then take the time to forge the dropped props, and then go to see how the equipment sold there is selling. In the evening, let's have a drink. Stretching lazily, a refreshing expression hangs on Flan's face. There was a crackling sound, and the soreness in the body also subsided. I'm obviously a defender mage, why am I awakening an additional magic? Thinking of this incident, all the bad mood in the morning was ruined. Especially the side effects, I don't know how to complain. The mission of Short Sword number 3 is also over, and we need to build a new one. In order to be able to create weapons with not bad attributes as soon as possible, Flan decided to go out and work hard for this goal. After washing up carefully, he opened the door and left the room. Good morning, Flan. I haven't seen you for a few days, it's like 3 autumns, Raoul. How can you always make a lot of weird words, but they are inexplicably touching? Maybe it's talent. Go to eat. Ah, together. The dining hall of the mansion is still as usual, and everyone is talking and laughing while eating breakfast. Flan and Raoul came to the window side by side and chose their favorite food respectively. Today's cook is Li Ni Yalu Shui, a human girl wearing glasses and braiding. She is about the same age as Alvi and Rafia, about 15 or 16 years old. Level is LV.2, is a healer. Flan is not a newcomer now, and has a deeper understanding of his duties. Judging from his current perspective, he feels that some professions are not judged purely by grade. For example, a powerful guard mage like Rafia, even in a deep layer below 50 layers, is worth a few LV5 to protect her and complete the release of wide area annihilation magic. And the therapist is even more so. For example, Battlefield Saintess, she is only LV.2. A healer is the kind of existence that deserves the protection of high-end combat power as long as he has healing magic. Is Lai in charge of breakfast today? Yes, Mr. Flan. That's all I can do. But you have to belittle yourself too much. Existence is reasonable. I believe there must be something that needs you. Good work. Yes. Hey, don't you see that you are quite capable? You are very popular with girls. Oh. Tion tilted her head and smiled and teased Flan, then winked at Li, making the girl blush. Actually, this sentence was also given to me by others, and I used it to pass it on to those who need it. That's probably it. What do you have planned for today, Flan? Sitting in the corner as usual, chatting with Tiona who was facing him diagonally. I'm going to visit the Guberniu family and renovate the basement. I'm also a magician. How can I do without a workshop? Hey. Mr. Flan has become a magician. Lefia let out an exclamation, which startled him. What's the problem? Rafia, rather than being a magician, she's just getting started. I don't have the ability to make high-end magic wands and magic crystals. A person who processes magic-related items is called a magician, or a staff smelter. The equipment manufactured by the blacksmith generally refers to physical weapons without magic attributes such as knives, spears, swords, and halberds, as well as armor such as light armor and armor. Corresponding. The equipment made by magicians refers to making magician supplies such as staffs, scepters, cloaks, crystal balls, magic swords, magic spar, and ritual materials. It's a pretty rare job. From the city of Olali, it can be seen that there are only a handful of magicians in the entire city, and there are only a handful of highly skilled magicians. The most famous is the witch Renault, who runs a shop called the Witch's House, on the Avenue of the Adventurers. She is a high-level magician from a magical country, including the Loki family mages Riveria and Lefia, and they all go there when they need to repair the staff and replace the magic spar of the staff. Finally, there is a mysterious profession, conjurer. Corresponding to magicians, the weapons they make are called spell tools. In layman's terms, it is the equipment that carries the curse. For example, curse of incurability, curse of weakness, curse of fear, curse of madness, and so on. Olali's only fifth, mysterious, owner, Baka, a member of the Thanatos family and a descendant of Dadiros, is a rare magician. That's amazing too. Mr. Flan is amazing. Said, don't add Sir, Rafia. Well, Flan, thank you. Finally had the opportunity, I see, thanked again very seriously. How do you say that? You don't know, Flan. Icy has been staying at LV.5 for almost 3 years, and her ability value has grown very little. Now that she has your magic outfit, she finally started to become stronger again. Well, that's it. Suppression Bracer is just a means. You can continue to become stronger. First, you have the potential, and second, you work hard enough. On the other hand, even for ordinary adventurers, do you think they can survive the terrifying gravity? Persist in the environment. Everyone is a different individual, that's what it means. Flan smiled, then buried himself in his breakfast. The past of these girls is more or less tragic, and from a modern perspective, it is a bit of psychological trauma. As a senior, it is an obligation to comfort the younger generation and guide the younger generation. The most important thing is, because they are beautiful girls. ISP statement. If it's a big gay guy or something, sorry. After breakfast, everyone went out together. Is Flan going to the Gobernu Familia? Let's drop by. By the way, you prepared your weapons there, right? Hey, my big double-edged sword, Icy's Despair Sword, was just delivered there yesterday, and the blacksmith said that the wear and tear is not too serious, so I can pick it up today. Okay, let's go together. It just so happens that I can also see their craftsmanship, maybe I can learn something. The thirst for unknown knowledge, Flan always comes first. Whether it's exploring the dungeon for combat training, or staying in the library to study magic, it's all for this goal. Flan narrowed his eyes when he remembered the weakness of his fighting methods in the dungeon yesterday. The magic sword, it's good as a backup. But in the final analysis, it's something outside of the body. It's time for Riveria to teach me parallel chant. Gubernian family, a forging family that manages the maintenance and production of weapons, armor and other equipment. Although the scale is much lower than that of the family of He Faith, who is also a forging faction, the performance of the armed forces can be said to be comparable, and it is different from the business of the big faction, He Faith. Weapons are crafted only after receiving a commission. To put it bluntly, it is exclusive customization business. Of course, as the gods responsible for construction, the Guberniu family will also accept other jobs besides weapon forging, such as construction, building reconstruction, etc. And the speed and quality are top-notch. The skills of the members of the family are all inherited from the skills of the gods, and it would be a lie to say that they are not perfect. The residence of Gubernian families is very inconspicuous, deep in a rather simple alley. It's still the signboard representing the family crest, that's 3 hammers crossed together. Is anyone here? It is really different from the service of the pharmaceutical family run by Dean Kate and Mahay, at least there is no Kanban lady out to greet them. Perhaps this is the characteristic of the blacksmith faction. After all, this family is all strong men. Icy smiled apologetically and stiffly at Flan, who had a different expression, and Diona folded her arms behind her head, and walked in very naturally. Thanks for watching.